And we are not live. Episode 6, baby.
Yeah, there we go.
We're not live.
We are not live.
Yeah, we're not live.
Episode 6.
Oh, yeah. Try to keep your heads as still as possible for this part.
Okay.
No, just kidding.
All right.
I don't know if I'm going to do the motion tracking on it or not. If I can get it to work.
So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
as long as we don't cover our faces, right? It should work.
It's so
Man,
finicky,
don't-
dude.
Don't put
I'm looking at other softwares now because Adobe has only got me so far.
You guys got to stop smoking.
Yeah. Inauguration
Oh,
day,
shit.
man.
Well, how far are we into it?
Just
we're
over 30
good.
seconds.
We're good.
Whoa!
I got it, bro.
Barely.
All right. What do we got? What do we got on the lunch menu today?
We're going to go back in time and we're going. What?
How far back we going?
Yeah, how far back we going?
Okay. Since this is a 6th episode. Bless you.
That was a cough. That was.
Yeah, I don't have the cough button yet.
It's like that dinosaur head guy. What's his name? Fucking
Dinosaur head guy.
Other thing you can do is turn away
Tommy Lee
from the
Jones.
mic and cough.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, I know, but I was like, I don't
Oh,
know.
I got another. Movie.
Another Tommy Lee Jones story?
No, I have a Christopher Walken story.
Oh my
No,
god! I
what?
just saw Dune 2 with him in it again.
Oh,
Okay.
he was.
I liked him in
Man.
Dune 2. I liked his
He
portrayal of
needed
the
more.
Emperor.
Come on, more. I wanted more.
I liked what little he had in there.
Ow. Yeah, he needed more
What are you saying ow for?
because he was on Saturday Night Live and he's going, oh, ow. He goes, the way he says it. My buddy, my old roommate, sounds like him. He talks like him, but with a little bit of a Spanish accent. he's like the Spanish version of Christopher Walken.
Now I'm just imagining Christopher Walken's trying to do a Spanish accent.
Yeah.
Now,
He's great in Severance. Oh my
Severance?
God.
I haven't
He's
heard of that
ama-
one.
Yeah, he's really good in that one. What's that?
now you see, I'm Christopher Sitton.
Okay, so man, I feel like I haven't been done my homework, but I have done my homework.
I didn't do mine.
So the picture I sent you, show him that big
Yeah,
picture.
I already have it up.
You have it up? Okay.
Oh, which one?
The one with that's
It'll
it.
be on
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah, put that on screen. So basically, if you look at it, it's life at 4 billion years, right? It shows that I have the date. So I have the first line, the first column is the classification, basically. And the second one is our lineage from the beginning of time, pretty much, all the way to the bottom. And where it stops, the dates is where I'm at, right?
Yeah.
And the third column is basically the time, BC time, all the way down, right?
Okay.
And then so I was doing this homework. What's up?
The red thumbnail. Okay.
I was doing this homework because I kind of like, I want to see, like we've been going back to the haplorhymine because I wanted to kind of link in also that this is the 6th episode. I wanted to link in with haplorhymine. We've covered haplorhymine all my goddamn times. But I had to do a little bit of the semioforms. I have some little bit of them too, of like what makes them different. And so I was just like looking at this and I nerded out and did this whole thing. And I'm like, God damn, man, you talking about it takes a long time for a planet to have life.
Yeah.
It's- okay.
Uncomprehendable amount of time.
So that guy, remember I was telling you, this Lex Friedman interviewed Adam Frank. And I was showing him, he was saying, okay, we can go doodle before this happened. Yeah, before that. So he was saying that in the cosmos, and when you say cosmos, you mean universe, pretty much. Mm-hmm. So in the cosmos, in the universe, there is a 6 trillion, you know what a habitable zone around a star is?
Goldilocks zone, yep.
Okay, the Goldilocks zone. Okay, our Earth is pretty much right in there, right?
Yep.
And so depending on the star, the size of the star and the heat of the star, that Goldilocks zone,
It changes.
it changes, right? And so he was saying that just about every single star out there in the cosmos has planets. Just about every single one of them, probably, right? So I looked up, okay, I asked Google pretty much. Okay, Google is, 1 with 100 zeros. That's what Google, the number means. So I looked at Google and I said, how many stars are in the cosmos? And it said 26 trillion.
That's known stars.
That's an estimation of what they think. How many? What's he
Fucking
doing?
with my goddamn Red
What are you
Bull.
doing? Is he smelling your drink?
Fucking weirdo.
It
You
smells
did that
good,
in
sorry.
episode 3 as
Disgusting.
well. Callback.
So there's 20 sextillion stars, and and that's basically a 1. No, that's a 20 with 21 zeros behind it. And then he said, okay, that's 20 sextillion stars in the cosmos, and he said 1 sextillion. He said a billion trillion, which
Yeah.
is one sextillion. There's 1 sextillion stars with habitable zones.
Okay.
Insane, 1 with 21 zeros. That's how many stars have habitable zones with planets, right? Mm-hmm. And you're going to tell me that we're the only one?
That we know of.
That we, yeah. But he was saying, forget about time, big bang to now, whatever. But all of the cosmic existence, that's the number. Like, that's insane. And of course, our star wasn't created till 10 billion years after the Big Bang, later on, number of time has spanned, and those stars evaporating, blowing up, whatever, creating all that number of 1 sextillion is probably changing back and forth. Who knows? And so from that kind of like freaked me out, and I was like, the only thing that tells me is that there's a lot of graveyards out there of civilizations.
That Fermi paradox. It could be.
Yeah. And
In
okay, and then they
space.
start talking about how long. It goes. It's the way that the universe is. If there was an advanced civilization like us before us, let's say a billion years ago, there'd be zero evidence of it. Right, from bones to because fossils, the oldest fossils like maybe 2 billion years after the creation of the Earth, pretty much that's when life started basically. And so he said that there's a good chance that you won't find any evidence at all of any civilization on the Earth. Now, it says on the moon, it was different. The moon, because of tectonic plates, right? And the storm, weather, volcanoes, that kind of stuff, earthquakes. So it's going to get crushed or flattened by ice. But on the moon, he said, even a million years from now, that Apollo 11 would still be there. The metal would still be there. And so that kind of like, oh, okay, maybe we might find something in space of an ancient civilization.
It's like finding a needle in the biggest haystack.
Yes, yeah. But just that he said that the numbers, 1 sextillion, habitable zones, like you can't tell me that we're the only ones. That's the pessimistic line. The pessimist
pessimist.
line. Mm-hmm. You can't get any more pessimistic than that. It's like this is it. That is the worst case scenario of 1 sextillion.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It depends on whether it's worst case scenario would be that we are alone, or worst case scenario would be that we're not alone. Honestly, I think both can be.
Both are
equally
terrifying.
Yeah.
And the one that is the dark forest hypothesis, you've heard of that?
Yeah.
Or the theory, basically that.
I have, but probably again for the audience, but also
So-
because I don't really know.
The dark forest is basically like kind of like that dream, not dream, but the story you wrote. The dark forest is basically kind of like you're careful to make any noise because if someone's hunting you, you're going to find you. Mm-hmm. The fire, like you're taking a chance by creating a fire in the dark forest, that kind of thing. So you might anything that approaches you, kill it, right? And if they don't announce themselves, you shoot them, that kind of thing, or the arrow with a sword, whatever. That's the dark forest, and that's why they think that maybe the worst case scenario is that the dark forest for the cosmos don't say nothing, and that's where that movie comes from. That movie, was it the 3 body problem?
Oh yeah.
I still need to watch that.
The show's okay, but the idea of it's actually pretty cool because it deals with the Alpha Centauri with the three-star system, and how does it apply to exist in that system, right? Because the gravity keeps changing, and so I think if you haven't, the show doesn't really give the book justice. It's written by a Chinese guy, but it's a good story, and the only thing I think is like, why can't we just live together? Like, and why do we have to fight? Like.
Because my way of governing works if everybody agrees with it.
Yeah, it's just stupid. Yeah. So that thinking about that kind of like God dang, this all is possible even before. And now I was telling him there's definitely there's us, right, on Earth, like 1/6 and there's definitely the entities that I saw. I count them as they're out there. They're just looking at me. And the third would be whoever the hell is flying Tic Tac, go fast.
DARPA
Well, yeah, but
I
where did
gotta throw it in.
where did that come from, right?
from a lab.
DARPA is aliens.
Yeah,
confirmed.
but it's
Okay, to be
reverse
fair,
engineered.
They do say that they when there's an alien crash, they call those donations.
Yes.
That terminology around
How-
that's weird. Like
Okay, that's okay. Now, okay, now we're supposed to go back in time, but we're talking about aliens
Yeah.
now. That's okay.
I don't want to derail your thing.
No. I'm
riffing.
derailing myself, which is allowed. It's allowed. Okay, so I watched James Fox. He does documentaries, and one of the documentaries he did was it was kind of the Brazilian Roswell.
What?
And it's like if you look at Brazilian Roswell, it'll give you the actual.
Is that like hospital where they took the bodies?
Yes.
I don't remember enough, but I remember that there was something about the hospital that they
Yeah.
brought the people
Look
to,
at
or the
James
bodies
Fox.
to.
Okay, now. So James Fox had a documentary. It was the Brazilian Roswell, pretty much, and so you have to
All of
edit.
that now.
You have to edit this somehow. What?
The third is Brazilian Miku. That's great. Thank you.
They
Thank
love
you, Internet.
Miku. They love Miku.
So in the documentary, one of the Brazilian, I think ladies or somebody said that the alien talked to them, and this is what the alien said, and through her mind, right?
That's freaky.
Who's
And,
it?
and I wrote this down word per word, right?
Jamie. What was the name
James
again?
Fox, Fox. I think it's only one X. I feel sorry for you humans. You have no idea about your potential and who you really are.
Huh.
Oh.
And now that's a quote from a Brazilian that the alien told him that.
Did it tell her that in English or Portuguese?
Portuguese. in her mind.
Telepathically. Okay.
This thing, I feel sorry for you humans. I feel sorry for you humans.
I just realized that I kind of just.
Let's worry about that after because
that
I'm
was
gonna
it.
have to
Shut
come
up.
up with some crazy stuff to edit that.
I know. so like here, I feel sorry for you humans. You have no idea about your potential, who you really are.
Mm-hmm.
And that really hit me. Now, if that's real, I believe it's real. They're here to keep an eye on us. Now, this is, okay, there's another thing that links to that. Have you heard of a remote viewing?
No.
Yes.
Okay. Now,
I won't deny that. That is a thing that has
I-
been documented to where
yes.
even if it was like purely guessing, this person
it's real.
beats the odds of just guessing.
Yeah.
Or at least the person that they were talking about.
So they're saying that there's 4 alien bases in mountains. One in Alaska, one in Australia, one in Africa, and one in Spain. Like where France border. There's 4 of them. They remote viewed these 4 locations. And each one of them has a different job. They think they're the same, but they're different as far as what the jobs that they're supposed to be doing.
Okay.
Now, if we're going to take this, this is a great story, right? Let's think of it as a great
It
story.
is entertaining.
It's entertaining. That if the alien said this, and if the aliens have 4 bases on the Earth, plus probably more, they haven't done anything in my view, maybe, because I've heard them shoot down Russian. They defended themselves, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
They're not emotional. They're biological robots, if anything, but they're here for a job. They're doing their job. Now, they definitely check out nukes. We know that. We believe that. I believe that.
Yeah, they did start showing up a bunch when the Cuban Missile Crisis thing was going on, alien sightings.
I think they're here like parents to slap our hand.
I do.
I think that's what they're here for.
I follow along with that theory as well
Yeah.
because it does make sense to an extent. But at the same time, I think grain of salt. I take it as a
No,
grain of
it's
salt.
true.
I do think that
Yeah.
in order for us to ever make any kind of contact, we all have to be of one mind, which
We're not there yet.
I don't think we'll ever
I don't think so.
necessarily get
No.
to that point.
Now, this goes into eventually we're going to get to the chromosome 2 when it happens, right? When I get eventually to the tree, we're still probably a good 40 million years away from that, and chronologically. But I think I'm really like, what the hell do I know? But I've heard enough, seen enough, and I can definitely see. I see videos of the drones. That's an airplane. I see videos of the drones. That's fake.
Yeah, it's,
You know what I'm saying?
People
Like-
looking up for the first time, and then
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my God, it's a UFO. No, it's an
it's just
airplane.
it's creating a weird aura from
It's-
the lens of your
Yes.
phone. and
Yes.
yeah, it's-
Exactly. So all that I can see all that, and I can say, yeah. I hear you. It's an airplane. You know, it's
And the other stuff that was going on
it's
with the
an
drones,
airplane.
it turns out this has been the works since like 2016. They were filing the
Yes.
paperwork to do that stuff. So this is all the government knew what it was. They wanted to not draw attention to it or to let people keep making a big stink about it.
There's something going on.
There was definitely something going on in the background that they did not
Yeah.
want to tell us.
Did we talk about though?
What's up?
I'll just hold off after we're done doing this.
No, I think I'm
my
pretty much,
question.
gone off the rails with the whole UFO thing. But I think there's definitely just to think of how long it takes for life to, and that there's something, I forget the way he said it. He said it to where that life doesn't just spring on its own. The planet creates life, because we have tectonics and the continents moved. It gave amoebas, whatever, these first life forms, the first domain, the kingdom, whatever, and all that
Oh,
happened.
yeah, let me pull that up. Sorry.
So that's around 2 billion years ago BC, that it gave them something to
It gave the amino acids something to like
resist against, replicate. Right.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. So the planet created life. I think there's something to do with that, because if it had been a cold planet where there's no tectonic activity, there wouldn't be life. And so there's a lot of combinations. There's so many hurdles when it comes to a planet creating life. All the building blocks, again, come from space. That's panspermia. Bacteria can survive. If a rock hit the Earth hard enough and knocks it into space, then any bacteria on that rock will survive and land on some other planet like billions of years later, or some other like Oumuamua, kind of like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of, there's so much, but it takes so long for life to get a foothold.
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking back to the scary part about either we're the first or we're not alone. Both of them are terrifying, because if we're alone, we got nukes pointing at each other. But aliens are here. How do you explain that? So we're not alone, and they're here. Maybe they were around, and their planet, they're able to create element 115, whatever it is that Bob Lazar says.
the,
that
the anti-gravity stuff.
Yeah, that maybe on their planet they don't have, because if Tesla had won, right,
Nikola
during-
Tesla. Yeah.
then we probably would have a hard time having radio waves and stuff like that. I've heard someone explain that to me.
Yeah, his wireless transfer of power, like there's stories of it where there was horses, and I don't know if it was miles or it was some crazy distance from whatever tower he had set up, but their horseshoes were sparking against the road.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe on their planet, because of the makeup, because of the chemistry, their planet developed differently to where they could have this element. And there's another one on these guys who are talking about this remote viewing that Sean Ryan recently interviewed. He said the alien abducted him or talked to him or something like that. That's what he says in his story. And he knows that he was behind an alien. They're walking somewhere. And the alien says to him telepathically, "You're not supposed to be here." He goes, "Yeah, I know. But I got a question for you." He goes, "Okay, go ahead." And he goes, how do you guys get from here, from Alpha Centauri to here? For some reason he said Alpha Centauri, right? Mm-hmm. He goes, well, you can't think of it that way, because all we humans think about is going as fast as we can for a long time when we get there. But the alien said, no, think of it as a Rubik's Cube, that every side of the Rubik's Cube, there's elements from different planets, and they're different. And I'm thinking there's something to that's what Bob Lazar said, that maybe on their planet, they're able to create a stable 115. Now we can somewhat create it, but it's not really stable. Mm-hmm. So maybe on their planet, because of
Whatever conditions
are,
yeah.
they have the, and it's not just, they're saying, the way he described it was almost like they travel just by thinking. And I'm like, that's like Dune, like folding space. So I don't know. It's just weird.
The way I like to think of it is like the Greys You know, where it's like they're just a gray, androgynous, big heads, tiny bodies. I think that is more of like a remote, similar to remote viewing, except for remote piloting.
That's what I think too.
That's what I think. Is
Yeah.
these consciousness or whatever, they're able to remote into these bodies, the grays,
Maybe.
and then that's how they get rid of the distance problem. Is they have some kind of way of transferring data,
Yeah.
like instantaneously.
See, now that deals with consciousness. That deals with no, because that's what he kept saying too. The guy that Sean Ryan interview was saying, "There's no time and no space. There's no time. There's no space." And when he's saying that, that just reminds me of Bufo and ayahuasca. There is no time. There is no space.
You have
like-
to get out of linear thinking to enable
that's-
to grasp that. Yeah, but
I really think that they. And okay, now we're gonna fast forward. Then we go into the monkey land, right? So this one, now we're gonna go to the monkeys.
Monkey Land, go to Monkey Land.
What's okay? So again, back to haplorhyming. We've talked about this a lot, but this is episode 6, and now I'm actually on track here. We remember haplorhyming. That's around
56.
56, 56.8 million BC, and about 10.8 million years later, you have semioforms, and semioforms formed around 45 million BC. Now semioforms are known as monkeys, simians, right? That kind of thing.
That actually connects. Yeah.
And now what's really neat is that the semioforms or simians, monkeys, pretty much, because we're monkeys, we're part of that. And-
Allegedly.
No, we are. So what's really neat is that's what the semioforms are also known as the old world monkeys.
Uh-huh.
And there's so when haplorhymia was created, they had 2 branches, and one branch went off. I forget what that one's called, but we have semioforms. Now semioforms, when you get to semioforms, they'd split too. So we're going to focus on semioforms. So semioforms, their jaw was different. Like every time I write to you, like everything changes, right? So the semioforms and these monkeys, they have a robust jaw. So at one time, like Leafy, right, has a weak chin,
Weak chin, leafy.
right? Glue.
I'm
But
just
right
thinking of
here,
what picture I'm going to use.
because right here, when we were simians at that time, we have cartilage in between here, and then so for some reason that jaw fused together and became. That's why you have a pointy chin.
Okay.
So that was changed over time. The next thing happened was the jaw fused, and then the next thing is the molars, right? The molars we get we go from like 4, but it goes into 2 or 3. So we get less molars, less chewing. So our teeth change. And also another thing too is that the eyes, they're kind of facing forward. And if you look at a bird skeleton, you'll notice that where the eye goes, and there's like a opening in the backside. There's like a little ring of bone that goes like this. Or for us, it's solid. It's covered, right? And so that what we did is that our eyes kind of face forward like a predator, basically, for depth of perception. And so during the semioforms, this happens. And so so basically our jaw becomes fused. We have less molars, mandible. Yeah, that's when the mandible was done, and basically our eyes are kind of facing forward now. So this is the semioforms, and what's really neat is that the semioforms were pretty much all over the entire world. And right around this time, Africa and South America are a little closer together. And so what happens is the world starts getting colder and colder, and that's when that semioforms form into catarrhymy and phylorhymy, I think is the other one. So catarrhymy are the old world monkeys, and the phylorhymy are the new world monkeys. Now, the new world monkeys are in South America. All the old world monkeys are in Africa, Europe, and Asia. So how the hell did the monkeys get across the Atlantic? So that's where they're still kind of a mystery. I'm gonna say aliens. No, I'm kidding. No, so they're saying that I don't know if you've ever seen a hurricane or a storm. Aliens. I don't know if you've seen. There's like this big patches of like swampland, and it's all there's trees and there's grass and everything on there, and they kind of float out in the middle of the ocean sometimes. So it was a hurricane in Africa where that happened, because that's the time when Africa was kind of lush, like a jungle. The Saharan desert was lush. That maybe one of those clumps formed off, and then took like 2 weeks to get to South America, because it wasn't much closer back then. And that's how the monkeys got to South America. That's the only. It's still a mystery. There's still arguments about it, but that's one way. They either floated across on a log, or this big pieces of land that are just basically like swampland, like chunks, and they went, or it was aliens. You pick one, whatever you
I'm
want.
trying to like there wasn't any land bridges that could have. No. Okay.
No land bridges, and so the ones that went to South America are all the cool looking monkeys, the cool looking New World monkeys, the ones that the high lord monkeys that were throwing shit at us in Panama, like those guys, and the squirrel monkeys look really cool. The one I showed you, look at this guy. So those are the cool looking monkeys, and the old world monkeys are us basically, and then eventually the cataraimi. I'll go into that next episode. I'll talk about more about them, but I know we're talking about the simiiforms. So those split up into two. One went South America, then one stayed in the African North, and those changed into the cataraimi, and that's when our tail starts going away later on.
Well, I like my tail.
Yeah. So that's going, so that's where we're at now. But what was really neat was that there's a place in Egypt, and they found like tons. Like there was this guy, some British guy, that wanted to go out and find some rhino that had this like really cool looking horns and stuff, but he could never find one. But he found a bunch of other bones and stuff. So like 60 years passed, and they said, well, let's look through these bones. Like, hey, these are little monkeys. They're little monkey bones. Like, what the hell? And so they started realizing that all these simiiforms turned into the cataraimi, and it's like the Planet of the Apes almost. Like, there's so many different types of cataraimi in Africa that they pretty much they go back about maybe 32. I think I'll put it in the notes too. 32 point something million years ago. So that's where we're at now. We're at 32, going to the cataraimi. But so that's really neat, because it was really, really just packed with all kinds of different monkeys. And those monkeys eventually, that's when the first, if you look at go back to the chart, and then where you have cataraimi and the one below that, you'll see the first H in the humans, whatever.
Yeah, hemioite.
Yeah, I don't even know how to say those. I'm gonna have to take a class on how to say. Look how many H's. Look it all down. Look at that.
Here.
That's a
Look at
lot.
that. H.
Homo.
I have homo at the bottom. Homo.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have to learn how to say that, because I am confused on. You see the titles, right? They're categories,
Yeah.
right? And I don't know how to pronounce that shit.
I can put up.
try. I can try. You want me to try?
So far, I've been able to Google pronunciations.
Those are later.
for
We're going to
stuff.
cover that, but finally we're getting to after the cataraimi. Then it goes into the homo names.
Homo.
All the homos, right? All the
All the
homos.
homos.
Yeah.
Can't wait till we get to the homos.
So that's when we're starting to really recognize what we look like, and that's where it starts starting. But I've been like this past week, I've been still doing this whole chart thing.
Yeah, that is going to save me so much time editing. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Because I could show you that. Yeah, if you want to show, go back to the chart, and whenever you see the years, I'm putting the years in too. I said, yeah, let me, and I just nerded out and just made this whole thing.
So,
You gotta make it to the first one. What's the first one? Can you even pronounce it?
so I was just sitting there, just actually saying to myself very quietly. So when it has the DEA behind it, I think it's more just take a really quick.
Gaia?
It would be Daedra, Adra from Skyrim.
I was thinking
The Elder Scrolls. My bad.
Medea.
Not Skyrim. That was such a fucking nerd thing I just said right there. And
Nerd.
incorrect one thing too.
Hominid.
Hominid. So
Hominidia.
Hominidia.
That sounds disgusting.
Hemorrhoids.
Hominidia sounds like he's something you'd catch out
Homina,
at the
homina.
club.
Homina.
Homina.
You see what I'm saying? I have to learn how to say it, because it's going to be confusing as hell. Because everyone knows cataraimi, simiiforms.
Cataraini or whatever it's
Cataraini,
pronounced.
yeah.
Then it'd be
Yeah,
hominini. I don't know.
See? That's what I'm saying.
Hapalugini.
And then you got hamina. Hamina.
Homina.
See,
And then I don't know. So there's just
I'll work on that the
1,
next.
2, 3, 4. There's 4 of these, and then you got Homo, and then you got Sapiens.
Yeah.
So
All those are oh man, I gotta learn how to say those damn
how
words.
many classifications are there here in this?
This
thing
from the beginning of
life?
time to
1,
that?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Homo. Well, Is that all you got for
Yeah, there we
the?
go. Whatever. Okay,
Yeah.
later.
So that's all. That's where we're at in time, and I wanted to talk about aliens and like how the hell this happened.
yeah,
Yeah, man, it's pretty crazy.
aliens did everything.
Like, him talking about the habitable zones, and then
Adam Frank.
yeah, man, it's just like I gotta go smoke a cigarette. Like god damn, this is like real. This is so much, and how freaking long it takes for. And he said there's plenty of stupid, like a dumb life.
Fuck you. I knew it was coming up. I knew it was coming up. Motherfucker's like, there was a bunch of dumb
lots
life.
of dumb life.
Just points at me.
I told you I was gonna do that.
Yeah, I know you were going to do that. I just didn't know when.
But it's just it just really it's just great. Imagine that alien said that. Can you imagine if that's what the alien really said?
I can imagine it, and it's
a good story?
It's magical, yes. But then I can also think, if I was in Brazil and I wanted attention.
No, dude, I don't think it's not that. I really.
I'm just saying.
I feel sorry for you.
I don't believe all women. I'm sorry.
No, I know. I'm very picky too on but when you get to see Fox's documentary on Brazilian Roswell.
Contact.
Yeah, that's.
Contact? What's it called?
Yeah, I think it was like contact. I haven't pulled
Contact
up. right
High?
now.
I'll definitely do
Contact.
some more digging.
Moment of contact.
when I
That's what it's
edit this.
called.
Moment of contact.
Moment of contact. Okay.
Yeah.
Really good documentary. He had another one come out recently called The Program. That was another good one too. That's a good one. But that, yeah, man, that really, really weird. And because that's the first time I've actually like no one's really ever documented like what has an alien told them. Like no one talks about it. It's like, yeah, how are you gonna verify that?
Yeah.
But
Because there's plenty of stories on
yeah,
Reddit.
man. Oh, get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all bullshit. I don't.
That's an op.
That's fucking up. Yeah. But it's just really wild. So there you go. Diddle. That's the whole.
Speaking
history.
of ops, wowee, this New Year's has been wild.
Yeah.
We had multiple things happen and supposedly not correlated at all, but there is one correlation that is verifiable. They both used the same ride sharing, or not ride sharing. It was a rental service where like any Joe Schmo can put their car up on this listing to rent it to people.
What's up with that, man?
Yeah.
It could just be a coincidence. It could be a very popular app that I've never
Airbnb
heard
of
of.
cars.
I've never rented a car in my life.
No,
So
I have airports. When I go to
yeah,
airports, yeah.
I don't travel. I don't go to
broke for
airports
that.
too. Okay, weird thing here. Weird thing about me. I don't trust airports. That's the one place where they're allowed to violate your Fourth Amendment right, TSA.
True.
It is enshrined in law they can violate your Fourth Amendment rights. And I didn't even think, it's not even that big of a deal until I watched some like Nat Geo, like catching drug smugglers things, where they're just straight up taking people's phones and they're saying, unlock it. No, that's unlawful search and seizure. Well, that sucks. You're in an airport. Unlock it.
Are you serious?
They'll hold you in a room, tell you unlock it. They can violate your rights in an airport. So I was like, fuck that. I am never flying unless it's private. Like,
Yeah, once they start doing the whole like when TSA.
it doesn't even stop the fucking terrorists either.
Man.
I can't remember who said it, but they were quoted as saying like, we almost need terroristic attacks to remind people of why they need us. And I was like, what? Then maybe we don't need you.
maybe we don't-
If you
yeah.
need to fucking false flag attacks.
Not good.
I understand why you need some kind of regulation and security around airports, but it at least needs to stop the attacks that it's claiming to prevent. Either way, that's my TSA rant. The
No,
things,
I agree, man. I agree.
the things we were talking about before, though, is like the shooting down on Bourbon Street.
Was
That
it a
was
shooting?
insane.
I thought it was a car running people
Okay,
over.
yeah, it started like that, and then the guy. Okay, first he drove through the. I guess I should start from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Bourbon Street has infrastructure in place to where they can block off certain roads, so that way it becomes only foot traffic, and they have like these pieces of the roads to say it's like this, and then a big barrier will lean out, so that way a car can't drive.
Oh, so
through it.
you're the one that told me about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they were under maintenance because they were preparing for some other big events that are coming down.
Bourbon
they're-
Street where?
Right. Yeah. Okay. Super Bowl. That's what it was.
Bourbon Street where?
I'm not cultured. I don't know about the Super Bowl, but Bourbon Street's in New Orleans.
There you go.
New Orleans is some people say. New Orleans. But the guy veers off the road, drives down, hitting a bunch of people, and then slams into a bucket crane type dealio. And then people are going to like check it out and like see what's going on. And that's when he gets out with a gun and starts fucking.
Oh,
Yeah.
I heard it was a bunch of college kids he hit too.
The videos look awful. It's,
How many people were killed?
I don't know, but I could put something on screen.
I haven't even looked at it because I kind of like don't want to see that.
Yeah,
It's
it's very sad.
I seen bits and pieces of the video on not of it occurring, but the aftermath after
Yeah.
it, and there's just it's horrifying. Now it's horrifying that it happened,
Yeah.
and there's like I saw a bunch of people. I think one guy was trying to assess the situation, but like there's like multiple other people that are just walking around. I don't know if they have their phones out or not, but Jesus Christ, if they did, they are terrible fucking people.
Not even helping. Just
It's not
videotaping?
even happening,
Yeah.
not doing anything. I mean, I could be wrong. That might be just me being ignorant as fuck.
Some people handle trauma differently, or it's like
That's true. Yeah.
But at the same time, there definitely are some vultures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're just one. I understand if it's like one guy not being a part of it, then it's kind of a bad thing. But the guy that got the video on it, so it goes hand in hand with that, with the whole phone thing. Everybody's just sitting there doing nothing, taking videos and all that type of shit. But I mean, it depends on the situation. Just like that one situation. Although, granted, somebody should have stepped in and helped. But the subway incident with I think it was an immigrant that set a woman on fire while she was sleeping.
Yeah, that was
Damn.
insane too. Like that was like 2 weeks ago, I think, from when we recorded.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But I think somebody should at least like got a fire extinguisher or something to put her out. And-
Yeah, that whole
Well,
situation is
the
insane.
shittiest thing is too is like it's on a subway. The door's completely open. Somebody could have ran in there, doused her off, and then like tried to, get medical aid or something like that. But she's probably far gone at that point because the way she was holding onto that pole, she wasn't coming loose. So like she was stuck to that pole. And she's just on fire, fucking flames billowing off of her, smoke. And the one problem that I had with is a police officer, or it might have been Metro, regardless, it's still a police officer, just walking by the door, not doing anything.
They don't train their officers because it's cheaper to pay for the lawsuits than to actually train them all.
Yeah, that's the shittiest thing in my opinion.
Oh, and also another shitty thing. The same fucking day, Kathy Hochul
Yeah.
came out and said, I think she's a governor. Yeah, governor of New York. Came out and said the subways are perfectly safe. The same fucking day that happened. But the back to New Year's though, there's that Bourbon Street incident, and then there's the Cybertruck that was outside of Trump hotels in Las Vegas.
Is that
I almost
the
said
one
New
with the
Vegas.
fireworks?
Yes.
Okay.
Cybertruck. Okay, it's a Green Beret who rented a Cybertruck from the same app as the guy who rented the truck for the Bourbon Street.
No,
And-
the guy on Bourbon Street was out of Fort Bragg too.
Yeah, they're both former military, which really screams psyop,
What the hell is going on, dude?
right?
I think they're being coerced.
I don't. It
Coerced
could.
into
It could
it.
just be. It could just be purely coincidence because it's New Year's.
Yeah.
What a day to do something crazy. But
No, I
the
don't
the
get
the
it.
one outside of Trump Hotel, that one's
But
That
he
was
had a
weird.
manifesto. What was the I think the main gripe was that the manifesto was published.
the manifesto for the Cybertruck dude.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
the
that.
manifesto.
And so it wasn't.
We
it's
haven't
not really a
even gotten to the weird stuff on that yet. Because let me just explain real quick the situation. The Cybertruck pulls up in front of the hotel with a with explosive, like mortar style firework explosives, and then fire propellants like lighter fluid and other burnable fluids like that in the back of the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
And then it detonates. But because of the design of the Cybertruck, it's basically like the sides funneled the blast up and into the cab. So it didn't even break the glass on the hotel.
Yeah.
I think there was some injuries, but
Well, see,
nothing crazy.
because Sean Ryan was basically saying if he wanted to do damage, he could have done damage. He could have got
Yeah.
But seeing that he
A Green
has-
Beret?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's gonna
he
improvise.
knows what to fucking do.
right, and so that didn't happen. So
I think
that's
it was
just-
more the message because it's a Cybertruck at Trump Towers.
Yeah, I think it is too.
Like, why would he kill himself?
And they also found a Deagle in there with him.
Yeah, my question is
What's
like,
that?
why?
A Desert Eagle.
Yeah, 50 cal.
Yeah, Deagle,
That's insane.
I don't think he shot himself.
Well, we'll read. It could be either 50 AE, 45 Magnum, or 357.
He's getting gun technical on
so
us.
No, it's not that. Is it when you see? I was watching Nerdrotic and they had the video and they're pausing it. You can see the guy's silhouette face. He's either strapped in, dead, or he's alive. You can't tell.
Yeah, it's
If he was dead, he'd be.
that's where the
Maybe.
conspiracy.
I don't know.
Here's where we dive into the conspiracy land of it. So Sean Ryan's show. I still haven't seen this, but I've seen clips of it. He has some guy on who received an email
Yeah.
from the guy who did the attack on the Trump Tower. or
He wasn't the
attack.
only one, too.
Really?
He said
Other people got the email?
Yeah,
Wow.
because he kind of like, who do I send it to make sure it gets out? Because to me, I'm getting the impression that it's some kind of warning, and he killed himself to put the warning out.
I don't know. I'm thinking the whole thing is an op to pull our attention away from
We don't know.
something
No one
else.
knows.
I think it could be that whatever shadowy organization, going back down to that, because everybody loves hearing that, it's just trying to force certain individuals, especially, you know, probably the elite of militant arms and all that type of stuff, to do things that they normally wouldn't do, force them some way, shape, or form,
It's more instability. I think that's
yeah.
what it is.
and just try to be like, hey, you either do this or this is going to happen. Probably holding somebody's family hostage or something to that degree.
No, you're getting off on tangents there. The thing,
Well,
I'm not
true,
gonna. I'm
but
not gonna.
It could happen.
Yeah, but you're just saying stuff. But the thing is that there's nothing to really know about this. That's why I'm just gonna listen to what Sean Ryan says, what they're saying, because there's a guy that recorded the conversation with Sean Ryan, the guy who got the email that was on the podcast.
Yeah.
Some other guy. It's basically it goes on for like 2 hours, and there's a lot of FBI guys there. There's a special forces guys there, and they're all giving their 2 cents on what could this possibly mean. And the other weird thing too was on his Signal, on his Signal app, the number changed, and so
Whoa.
yeah, what's up with that? So they were explaining that you can. They thought that maybe the Signal can only be on one phone, but you can actually have Signal on 2 phones on your same account. So there's that. So there's a lot of misunderstandings, and so the guy is explaining. The guy worked with a lot of them were intelligence, military intelligence. A lot of the guys
Yeah.
were talking. So again, they don't know. It is weird. I think the only thing they're getting flack for is for putting his email out, and because once you give it to the FBI, and you're open about it, that kind of protects you a little bit. But they can still actually. Like, okay, the guy who gave the email out to Sean Ryan, if the FBI wanted to, they can go to his house and search all his shit, basically.
Yeah.
And so that's what they were kind of afraid of. So they're kind of getting advice from their lawyers and everything too. Like, can we do the podcast about this? Yeah, sure, we could be covered. So everything they did, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not going to say anything because all I'm going to repeat is what I saw from them. They're more of an expert than I am. And so I have no idea what's going on.
But at
It's
the same time,
weird.
they're all former military.
Yep.
So I look at it through that lens of once you're in, you're always in. You never leave.
Those guys, yeah.
Once you're that high up.
But the
you
guy
never-
in New Orleans, he was just in Bragg. He was like, I was in Bragg too.
So what was
You know,
he? What was he?
I don't
Was it
think he
special
was-
operations or something, or
No,
because the Green Beret special op.
that's the farthest of my extent.
Okay.
no. The guy in New Orleans was just a former Arabic soldier, American soldier, who was Arabic descent. He had an ISIS flag in his truck. I heard. So he's doing it on his own. But again, this goes back to Sarah Adams. Now, Sarah Adams was interviewed by Sean Ryan, and she came out. She was saying stuff like, because of the border, it's so porous that there's at least, she said, estimate probably about 1,000 terrorists that have already gotten through. And that's her
I
saying.
don't even think it's safe to put an estimate that low. I mean, you don't
No,
know
that's
what these people.
that's.
are
I'm just telling you what they're saying,
Right.
what they're guessing. Again, they're the experts. I'm not. I'm just like, when she said that, she said this months before this thing happened, and so and when they were showing video footage, showing off videos of how Taliban doing weapons qual basically, or they're showing how they're shooting with the gun and the M16A2 with their handgun and showing all that stuff. They're showing off basically, this is what we're doing. And so these are terrorists that are actually getting good. And Sean Ryan saying that scared the fuck out of me. And that scares me too. When I see that, I was like, oh my God. And the thing is too, that's just Taliban. We're not seeing what Al-Qaeda's doing. And they're not allowing any cameras or phones in their camps. And they're doing better stuff. They're doing more advanced stuff. Another thing too, they're taking up fake names now.
Yeah, it's
you
pretty
hear
easy
about
to
that?
ditch your ID at the border and then come up with a new one.
No. When they get to camp, they're ditching their IDs.
Oh.
That's what I'm talking. So as I'm saying, it's everything that I know is from Sarah Adams and Sean. I'm getting everything from them because you can't. What they're saying also, because of the concern that she had, she went to the governor of Florida, DeSantis, and she briefed DeSantis on what's going on. And he's like, what the hell? I'm not getting this from higher ups to you're a former, you're a civilian now, you're former, you're still working with this, and you're informing me? Like, why am I not getting it from higher up?
Right.
What's going on there? And so DeSantis, what he did, as soon as he got that brief from her, he basically got all the sheriffs in every single county in Florida and briefed them. Okay, we need to look out for this kind of stuff. And so that's what Sean Ryan was saying. Well, maybe I could have DeSantis contact my governor because he's a Republican too, and start spreading the word. Okay, man, we need to be ready for this. Mm-hmm. So when I'm hearing all this, and all of a sudden New Orleans happens, all of a sudden Vegas happens, it's like, what the hell's going on, dude? So I think it's part of this. Is me saying this deep state just trying to make roadblocks for Trump for the new administration. That's what I see in this.
Yeah, they're trying to shit in the souffle before it's done, essentially. And then hand it off like, oh, we left them the best economy. We left them blah, 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 blah. Like they fucking did with the 2016 or 2020 to now.
Okay, and then you have Zuckerberg coming out saying his fucking spiel.
I think Zuck's just playing it smart. Like he was a fence sitter, and then he just caved to the government shit.
Yeah,
when it
which
happened.
way is the wind blowing? Oh, I better go with it now. Because there's no way he would have come out.
I'd rather him be that
True.
than be just staunchly doubled down.
Yes.
And then,
Because the thing is, it's a 5 minutes of him telling him, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Well, we'll see. You had 2 years, 4 years to do this, and you didn't do nothing? Like, get the fuck out of here.
He started doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
I heard about that.
And as a white belt myself.
What's up with that? Yeah.
I think exercising and then just upping your testosterone will eventually lead you towards more conservative-leaning ideas. But
yeah, I think he, deep down he's a liberal. I think the whack jobs that
Dude,
work
even
for
Elon
him.
is a fucking liberal still.
Yeah, he still is.
The whole H-1B visa thing. He got spanked on that,
Yep, he
and he's
did.
slowly walking it back.
Yeah,
And Vivek, oh my god, I can't even like. I used to be the biggest Vivek dick sucker ever. The moment, literally.
What did he say?
Okay, essentially, he was saying that we need Americans to be like always working, no rest, stop spending time, no sleepovers with your friends, none of that, no gaming. You need to be work, 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 work. Look at all these Indian families that have come over here, and look at the median income of Indian families versus other families, not taking into account that Indians typically like live in the same house, or like
same
multiple
house,
families.
yeah.
Right, they're taking the household income into that, but trying to argue that Indians work way harder, so we need to be increasing the amount of legal immigration.
No.
And then I'm like, dude, no, stop.
There's
That is
plenty
not.
of smart people here you can hire.
You lost-
The main thing is they don't want to pay
They don't
Americans.
want to pay. They want
Yes,
to.
that's
This
what
was
it
a
is.
Koch brothers conspiracy, and this is where Bernie came out of left wing with the fucking chair. And just, well, bam, smacked everyone with like, this is a Koch brothers conspiracy. He wanted like, they've been talking about bringing in cheap labor to have a second class citizen that they can pay less, and fucking up their incomes while fucking everybody else over.
Yep, and that's really what's at stake. That's what's really going on with the H-1B1 visa, whatever.
Yeah.
Because
fuck Vivek, Elon, you still have a chance at redemption, but fuck Vivek.
I still like Vivek, but the thing is,
I don't. Not after that.
after him saying that,
Yeah, literally,
shit,
it
that's
revealed
bad.
the slimy coat started to sheen in the light, and it's like, okay, I see. You're one of them. You're a globalist. All right.
Yeah,
I liked what you were saying before. I like that you got Trump elected. I don't want you anywhere in control of anything. You need to get off the board of Doge.
Yeah, that's where it's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
But they definitely were. The companies were definitely taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Patrick Bet David, he has some graphic design. He was defending it too. He was on the
Really?
Elon
He's
defending the
Iranian.
HB1.
Yeah.
Right. But he has this guy who does his thumbnails and graphic design that he's paying way under the industry rate on an H1B visa. Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
So that's why he's defending it. Cheap labor.
yeah. You
Cheap
see,
labor.
Yeah.
that's really it is.
But fuck, I derailed. What were we talking about before that?
We were talking about shit. What were we talking about? We started off with the attacks on New Year's Eve.
Oh.
Yeah, because
I
that
should-
was.
I should knock this out right now.
yeah, go
actually.
ahead.
Okay. Tim Pool, last episode. Right. Yeah. A sincere apology, dearest Tim Pool. I'm sorry. I did not pay attention. I should have. I took it at face value from some source I trusted, who I do not trust as much anymore. That they got bought out by Daily Wire. They, as far as
it's
he's
not-
officially, no, they have not. He's in talks with
Yet.
different networks. That's why I'm like, this might be a thing. But I don't know. I still think I should apologize for spreading misinformation on that. There will
Yeah,
be stuff in the edit to explain where I was coming from with that. I haven't edited it yet.
Yeah.
But
He's,
Cool.
He's
Yeah.
currently working on 4, right?
yeah. Well, I'm editing 4 right now. Just got done with 3. It should be up by the time we're recording this.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going pretty good. But yeah, shocking news. Yeah.
Lots of crazy stuff going on.
And I'm in La La Land thinking about aliens and monkeys.
Yeah.
Monkeys and aliens.
I'm also in La La Land. Just fucking sitting here, just killing bots and squids. That's what I'm doing.
So the other thing in the news that UK is finally starting to admit that multiculturalism isn't working over there.
Really?
Yeah, and I haven't looked into the documents myself, but everybody that I've listened to is hyping it up like, dude, it is bad, like body mutilation of children, bad.
Yeah.
Like, I understand.
That's what you get.
Import the third world, you get the third world. Mm-hmm. I understand that. Mm-hmm. I just didn't understand.
It's too bad they didn't hear what McConaughey said. You know, like don't bring what you left. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Don't bring what you left.
We see a smaller version of that when like there's a Democrat shithole that'll like implement really bad laws, up the fucking pricing on everything, inflation through the wazoo, and then the people are like, "Oh, this place sucks. Let's move," and vote the exact same way.
Yeah, exact same way we go. Right. We go to Texas. Yeah.
But on a global scale, that's happening to Europe right now.
They're
retards.
They're going to be learning hard from that.
It's the pendulum swinging, and I don't think it's necessarily left to right. It's people paying attention. I think that's what it is. It's like shit has to get so bad that your average person starts noticing. Yes.
Well, the DEI doesn't fucking work, and it's Obama. Oh, thanks Obama. He's the one who started this.
I don't think it was.
It's him, man.
I
blame him.
I blame him for America when it happened, but I think that's not the root of it. I think this, like the Davos, like World Economic Forum, like the elites, the people who are like, oh, we have all the money, so therefore we must know everything. Yeah. Type people, where it's like stupid people. We should implement a stupid tax because stupid people don't know how to handle their money, so we should just take it from them.
Yeah, it's called a lottery. that's your
new
tax.
money.
No, that is also a form of stupid tax, yeah. But at the same time, you need like $20, I could be a millionaire.
$20. Mm. Yeah,
I mean, I'm doing the same thing with crypto, so I can't judge too much.
But Bitcoin's real.
Yeah.
Bitcoin
is real.
Yeah, stop talking about your shit.
I mean, it's not really real, but it's real, you know?
You can play with the shit coins. You can gamble with them, but always give them reason.
Unless you have a good starting investment, that's kind of where you're at. Not financial advice, but always got to put that disclaimer in there.
So whose turn is it now to talk about stuff?
I'm just riffing at this point.
You know how you double your money?
How you do that?
You fold it in half, put it in your pocket.
Shut up.
That's how you double your money.
Dude, it's so cold here in Kansas. I saw a politician stuff his hands in his own pockets. So it's amazing.
Dude, the whole state was like shut down.
Oh yeah. Should we talk about that? Like, holy shit.
Just don't mention where we're at.
Yeah.
Don't mention where our bunker's at.
We're in Kansas. That's
yeah. But
that's all you're gonna get.
You told me to talk about this on the podcast. So
Grandpa.
Yeah. So when the snow happened, it happened on the 5th of January. And then when it was coming down and all that. By the way, that was interesting because later the next day, I went outside to grill up some bratwursts.
That was pretty solid,
dude. I was fighting. I was fighting the snow. It was getting all over everywhere, dude. I was fighting it because it was also windy.
Yeah.
So my neighbor, his roof has a shit ton of snow. I'm not even kidding. And as soon as the wind came down, it kind of looked like this. I'm going to try to do the best illustration with my hands. It kind of just like folded in on itself, and then it kind of pushed it onto his off of his roof, and it came straight into the carport, and it hit me all in the face. And I was like, okay, thank you. I wanted to be cold in my cold weather gear. Thank you. Nature. But I was telling him this before you got here, and so we could do this. My grandfather, when he used to work at the post office, he had this rock, right? Mm-hmm. And you do all this.
I know about his rocks.
Yeah. But it was this rock. It was sitting on this wooden platform hanging by a leather strip. I'm assuming it was glued on or kind of just wrapped around. I don't really remember how the rock was put together. But the rock had a little chart right next to it, and it said, how to tell the weather, look at rock. And it had all these situations. If the rock was wet, it's raining outside. If it's covered in snow, it's snowing outside. If it's spinning, I think it's windy, or if it's windy, if the rock is missing, that means that there's a tornado nearby. And I don't know where it is. I think I saw a picture of it, or my grandfather shared it on Facebook. But it was the same weather premise, but it was a bigger rock, and it had a chart exactly like the smaller one. And if that rock is missing, it's it's
Game over.
It's game over, dude. Game over.
It's a weather rock.
Yeah, the weather rock. Yeah,
It's always true.
yeah. But just to talk about it too. Like it's not necessarily too bad. It's probably bad in other places in America with the snow. But I couldn't get out of the parking spot I was in. Damn. And it's because of the flat and also how much snow there was. So I had to get like a shovel out so I could actually like hit ground and like rake it out with a shovel. By the way, shovels do not make good rakes, just so you know. But
Snow shovel.
Yeah, I used a regular shovel.
Oh,
That's your first problem.
No, well, I used a snow shovel beforehand, and then I saw how ineffective it was. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna use a regular ass shovel because it had that pointed nose, and it was able to drag it. I was able to drag out snow. That was the whole point of using the regular shovel. Then I realized that I had a flat, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna try to air it up. Try to use the air pump that I got for Christmas. That didn't work. As I thought it would. So I was like, fuck it. I'm still here. I'm still at the house. So I'm just going to go grab the air hose and a nozzle and the tire gauge, which, yes, I found it.
You
Yes.
found it? Okay.
Yes. And
He thought I stole it.
yeah. And try to air up the tire. Well, I didn't say you stole it. It was
Yes,
more
you
like
did.
No, okay.
Did you steal by air? Like, no. You.
I did. I said that as a joke. All
Oh,
right.
okay.
Because one time I pocketed a air gauge too. One time. This is like 20. This one was like a $20
They're
one.
like
though,
$3 at the gas station.
Well, this one's like really
This
good
is a
high
fancy
grade.
one. This is the nice one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The one at the gas station in town where I live. That one's a fancy one. That was like $20. Like it'll survive practically anything that you do to it. Probably besides shooting it with a gun. But whatever.
I'll try it.
Yeah, well, you get one, and then you can do it yourself. But, yeah, I had to air it up, and the airing up the tire was kind of slow because the air hose was cold and rigid, and I couldn't. There's no mobility in that line because of how cold it is here. I think later tonight too I think it's going to get like maybe the low is probably like a 3.
No way. Is it really?
So, well, last night going into this morning when I was up playing Helldivers 2, it was 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. It was 1 degree. It was cold outside.
Well, it's getting warmer because it's at -2, so it's getting warmer.
It's getting warmer.
It's getting warmer. Yeah, the weather, man, that really
He
kind of freaked me out a little bit, man. I was like, oh, jeez.
we were talking like last night or before I got off during the day. He was talking about how he feels like the seasons are slow are behind.
They're lagging behind.
Yeah,
Right?
lagging
Okay,
behind.
yeah. It's
It just every time since I was a child, it just seems like that
he's getting
it's
pushed
dragging
over.
further and further along. Where it's like we don't even get first snow until the new year.
I know it's
Yeah.
it's stupid, and I was hoping for
Well,
a
'cause
white Christmas.
Because last year it snowed in Thanksgiving, and so like it snowed like 3 times at least, and then this time
I feel like it has cycles of like speeding up and slowing down.
Yeah,
and then
it's
sometimes you get
different, yeah.
like those years where it's just perfect. It's just perfect weather, and it might be different for different parts of the United States too. But I don't know.
A perfect world, snow in October, and then it's gone by the end of February. That's perfect.
Man, but it
Maybe, yeah.
really made me think about like I need to prep more.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
you know?
definitely having some kind of
Yeah.
like the biggest thing is keeping some like the little tea candles. Keep some of those, and then like a ceramic pot. 'Cause
Yes,
then
I've heard that. Yeah.
you can always have a little space heater if you have those.
Yeah. Also, if you're also trapped in your car, always make sure you have a blanket or multiple blankets
Or a
too.
sleeping bag.
A sleeping bag, something
And
like
that's what I
that.
heard.
Don't let your tank get below half.
Yeah.
That's
Keep it hot. Yeah, keep
yeah.
a full tank because you need that traction.
just in case you get stuck somewhere and help ain't coming for a while. You want to have more than a half a tank. Just like,
that's terrifying,
idling.
dude.
Yeah.
That really was it. I had some friend of mine texted me. I heard you're gonna get some snow. And I was like, so, and then it's gonna do this. It's gonna have a foot. Like whatever. I was like,
Were you here for the polar vortex?
no, I was in Texas when it happened. That shut us down.
Well,
yeah.
how was that? Because that's the question.
Man.
Because I worked during that.
Jeez.
I was smoking a cigar when it was snowing too during that time. So
Well, for us, okay, for Texas has its own grid system.
yeah,
So it's not attached to anybody. So they do their own thing. And The problem was the infrastructure hadn't been upgraded, and we weren't 20 plus years whenever what year was that? 21? Yeah, it was 21 when that happened. Right? Yeah.
What?
That sounds about right. Yeah.
So 2021 is when it happened.
The polar vortex, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and so the Texas was just not ready for that because we were not used to that. Now, from I say about Waxahachie, from Waxahachie north, it definitely snows. Like between Fort Hood and Dallas, like halfway between, it snows all the time.
Can you say the name again? That's a very fun name to say.
Waxahachie.
Yeah, Waxahachie.
Waxahachie.
That's a cool place because they have like a Ren Fair there, like the
Oh, really?
yeah Ren Fair. That's
Dude,
the reason why
I want to go to. I want to go to one.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. There's one. There's a couple. There's one down further, closer to Austin and Bastrop. There's one there too. There's a Ren Fair also there. But it's for anything south of Waxahachie, pretty much, there's a lot of ice. And the ice kind of goes where like Austin and San Antonio maybe, and anything below that is just rain, and you get some ice down there too. But for most part, it's like where I was from in South Texas or even in Austin, it never really snowed, and I was there for like 20 years, and it snowed like 3 times, and sometimes it actually snowed in San Antonio in the valley, and it didn't snow in Austin. Like what the hell? It's just really weird. So even when you get snow down in South Texas and McAllen down in the Rio Grande Valley, like it hadn't snowed there in 50 years. Damn. And it happened like twice, and within 5 years it happened like twice. It's like, what the hell is going on? So yeah, so that I'm just not used to that. And plus the moisture there's a lot more humidity and a lot moisture, and it goes right through you, man. And so moving here to Kansas, it was, I could be outside and it's 40 and it's like, this is nice. It's no humidity. And it's a different snow. It's a different weather. It's definitely different. There's no humidity here. There's some humidity here. You get it once in a while, but it's nowhere as bad. It gets hot here. I was surprised at how good.
Yeah, the
hot.
fucking summers, bro. Yeah. It's terrible sometimes.
Well, that's what's funny. I was talking to some people. They were saying, "Oh, it's hot." It's like, well, how many hot? I mean, it's like it's gonna be over 100 for like 6 days. I go, pussy. Like, try 90.
In Vegas, you don't even realize how hot it is in Vegas
because
until you walk like a block or two, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's different.
But it's just because it's dry heat. Like, I
dry
didn't
heat.
understand it until that.
Yeah, dry heat.
Dry heat. We have dry weather here. It's that there's less humidity.
Mm-hmm.
When you have less humidity, it's shocking. How when you have humidity, oh god, I do not miss.
Dude, I can tell you that. Like
don't miss it.
spending some when I was younger, spending some times in Tennessee. Holy shit!
Yeah,
the humidity there during the
Fort
summers
Bragg
is fucking terrible.
Fort Bragg, Bennett. Oh man, when I was in Fort Benning during airborne school. Oh my god, I thought I knew humidity. No. No. You could see the molecules of water in the air. You could see they're right there
right now.
Yeah, and you could literally cut it out and just like I'm waiting.
It's
water.
like that scene from Scooby Doo.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
And you ever had prickly heat?
You told me about prickly heat. I never had prickly heat.
Okay, so
I'm always afraid of getting it though.
So prickly heat happens when you're in the summertime and when it's hot and you sweat and you sweat and you sweat and you dry off. And so the salt crystals on your sweat crystallize, they solidify in your pores.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, so your pores are sweating, and then when you dry off, the salt that your body, like Gatorade, drinking somebody's sweat. That's what it does. So basically, the salt solidifies in your pores, and it feels like a bunch of little prickly heat, is what they call it.
Yikes.
And the only way you can get rid of it is to sweat some more and take a shower, but you can use hot water. So I remember I was in Benning, and I knew the answer right away. So I just got to take a warm shower, like not too hot, but just a warm shower. It can melt.
I was gonna say like it's probably still fucking terrible just to take that shower.
It's hot. Yeah, you're sweating while you're taking a shower, if that's even possible.
It is. It is. As long as you don't get the water on you, then you're sweating.
It doesn't melt the salt; it dissolves.
Yeah, it dissolves. Yes, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
So it dissolves the salt in your pores, and then you have to take a warm shower. And then these two guys, like, why are you taking a warm shower? What are you, a dumbass? They're all like laughing. Like, yeah, you keep
go take your cold shower.
Go take a cold shower. Oh, my back itches. Like, there you go, dumbass. You gotta take a warm shower.
Open your pores, dummy.
Yeah, and to get the salt out of it.
I never experienced prickly heat,
So
but I know what to do.
That's prickly heat. Yeah, but it's and then you'll know when you look at your uniform and you see like your collars, that the last thing they get wet. when it's wet and it has salt on there,
Yeah.
you're gonna
Yeah, you're probably gonna get some prickly heat right there, bud.
Man, I remember when I was in Panama too. Oh, I'm good at stories. When I was in Panama, we had our dome of obedience, our Kevlars.
Domes of obedience.
dome.
So we didn't let us wear
Obedience.
fucking boonie hats. We had to wear fucking Kevlar in
That's
a
the
fucking jungle.
That makes sense.
Oh my god, that's when I stopped wearing underwear. Right? I just because I just like
I was just done with it.
Come
Never
on,
again.
I was
bro.
I just like I
Never
went I
again.
just tore down my knife. I just like went down my underwear, cut it right out one side, cut it down the other side, and then whoop, took it right out. And, like,
Get rid of that sweat diaper.
Oh yeah.
sniff it, throw it in the no.
Give it back to the earth.
Squeeze all the juice out of it. Disgusting. Yeah, but I stopped wearing underwear after that, and it was like, oh my god, this feels great.
It's liberating.
It's liberating, yeah. And god damn, man,
I
that was
remember
crazy.
when my boss at Taco John's, he's like, I got a compliment where he's like, thank you for wearing underwear to work.
Who said that?
My boss.
You.
'Cause
That's disgusting.
Okay,
dude.
the reason I should give
I
context.
wear underwear. I wear boxers now.
I should give context. It's because I put on a pair of pants that had ripped and I didn't notice it. So I got there. There's this big ass hole in the ass of my pants. I was running late to work, but he was just like, "Thank you for wearing underwear to work. Like, can you please go home and change your pants?"
That's funny.
He's a good guy. He's one of my favorite bosses.
So, I want to tell a story about Christopher Walken.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you have anything else you guys want to say? I'm guessing a drink.
Whatever. Oh, can you give me one too, or
You can go fuck yourself.
okay,
go
all right, all right. I guess go fuck myself.
So let's keep it rolling so I don't have to fast forward through the
Yeah, yeah. I could probably take this time right now to talk about a few things. Helldivers 2. Here we go.
all right,
You
I'll
gotta
catch you later.
you talk about this again. You like the game now?
Oh brother, this guy
Hey,
stinks.
this guy fucking blows.
Don't both of you play?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
He's
just-
just being a bitch.
I don't have to spend every moment of my life playing it or talking about it.
Well, I get way more enjoyment out of it than I do with Arma. That's saying a lot.
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah, but basically, we are now in another major order, and we have to set up another police state, hopefully a better police state than democracy officers right now, which I doubt that there's anything better than a democracy officer. But we're going to, we already took Maesta, I think I was going to call it that way.
nerd.
Yeah. Take Maesta, and then Tarsh, and then Yellowvar. But Yellowvar, speaking of Yellowvar, okay, so a lot of people are saying some like horror stories about it. I'm like, this ain't fucking Malevelon Creek. Shut the fuck up.
Dude, you weren't there. It's
You
so
weren't-
fucking scary, dude.
You weren't
They were
Dude, you
the
don't-
bots and the bugs were coming out of everywhere, man. Even the Illuminate were there, man.
Wait, I'm going to tell you right now. All right, I had more difficulty at Malevelon Creek than I did Yellowvar.
Is that a jungle?
Yeah. Okay, so Yellowvar
Hey,
is a jungle.
Can you
What?
show the picture of your grandpa in Vietnam?
Okay, so funny, interesting story to get derailed off of
Yeah.
that. That's not him.
That's not him.
No, that's his medic.
Is he taking the picture?
Grandpa's taking a picture. He's taking a picture of the medic, and
Well, what's up with the family there?
I don't know. I asked him, and he's like, "Well, they were living in the hut because it was a hut."
Yeah, we
behind
saw
them.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, you got to show that. You got to show.
I'll put the picture up. Yeah.
Put the picture up because
Okay, I'm putting it up.
it's a
I need to get permission first, so before
I'm
I
taking it down.
But
it's a great picture. Yeah.
I think
so.
I-
It goes into
Yeah. But oh shit, fuck. Okay, so
yeah.
shit, because we should show that artwork. It's by Lionel Sharam.
I'm putting the artwork up.
Yeah. I'll send.
Where are you putting the pictures?
Yeah.
Okay, so when we angle it like this, I like to put everything below our head,
Oh, below
so
us?
you can still see our facial expressions and we're talking about the thing. But I will use as much space as possible. That's just kind
Yeah.
of my editing
Okay.
style.
Yeah,
Like, I
but
don't
the
give a shit.
picture that my grandfather took looks so fucking similar to the one that I showed you.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, this is real as fuck. Although granted, the Helldiver 2 art that I showed these two has some different similarities because first Vietnam War didn't have any robots in it.
That's not
all right?
true.
Didn't
is
have
so
any
not
robots.
true.
Shut up. And
It's like your grandpa's picture is creepy. It's just like what the fuck's up
well,
with this?
I looked at it and it's like
It's really cool.
when I first saw it, because my little brother showed me it, and I sat there. It feels like you're just in the attic, right? You're up there in the attic, you're just rummaging through stuff and all that, and then you just open up this old box and you just pull out these pictures and everything. And I my grandfather, he has a photo album about like this thick. Let me get a better picture of it right here. Like this thick.
That thick?
Yeah. And it has.
That's what she said.
It has like his wedding photos. It has the time he spent in Vietnam, like probably some college stuff too. And I was
He was
like,
82nd too.
Yeah, I know. And I sat there and I was like, this is history right
Yeah,
here.
it is. Yeah.
Like, although it's not like, like actual. Well, yeah, you're.
It's not actual history, but it's
Look
history.
how much I packed it down.
Oh yeah, there's some history behind that. I need to tell you this, but after I'm done doing this fucking stupid ass segue or whatever, but it's like opening up a time capsule or something like that. Because essentially, like if you put like a chest upstairs and you have like stuff in there from like when you were younger or during certain days and all that type of stuff, that's a time capsule. It's not buried or anything. But it's up there. You can just open it up, and there's trunks. When I moved upstairs into my grandfather's house, there was trunks of his old stuff. The room I was in that I moved into because I moved right across the hallway. But there was porcelain elephants, like book stoppers, and all that type of stuff. He had his Purple Heart. He had his marksman medal and all that type of stuff in that room I'm currently residing in right now, and it's like opening up a time capsule, man. I'm not even kidding.
That's right. You got a Purple Heart.
Yeah, he did.
Damn.
And
Wow.
it's just opening all that. And the picture that I'm talking about, hopefully it's up somewhere. Like, where is it? Like right here? Right here, right?
Anywhere on this. I'm moving it. I'm moving it out wherever you're moving
no,
it.
stop. No,
I'm
don't.
moving it. Moving it.
No,
Can't
don't
stop
do
me.
this. Don't do
I'm
this.
unstoppable.
But no, I hope you do that when you edit, please.
You
do
know what?
that.
No, I'm not.
Okay,
I'm
never
not going
mind.
to move it at all now.
But just looking at it as a time capsule and seeing how I hope the guy that made that art somehow magically comes upon this video and sees me talking about it, because
You know what? If you harass him on Twitter enough, I'm sure he will.
I probably could.
You should.
But
It's your ethical duty at this point.
Yeah, it is my ethical duty, but it's so fucking similar. Although, granted, there's a few things different. Of course, it's going to be different because there's not a whole ass Hulk body where there's two other guys having a fire and they're brewing up some liberty.
It was the whole.
Yeah.
There's no little family living in a hut in there nearby.
Yeah, but the thing is so fucking similar because it's in a jungle. There's people there, although clearly there isn't a family on Malevelon Creek during that time, because holy shit, if there's a family surviving that, they
learned to speak
kudos
binary.
to you. Kudos to you, brother.
They're voteless.
But the voteless is on a different planet. But but just seeing that art is just really good, and he made some other pretty good pieces too. One that kind of has like some like German Renaissance type shit to it.
Wait, the guy he's just a player. He's a fan. Who made the artwork?
The artist, I think he might be a fan of the game. I'm not too sure. He
At least a fan of the aesthetic.
Yes. There's one where it looks like it was on like planet similar is it Dropnir, I think? I don't know. It's more like a grasslands type area. It's basically just Ireland with fog and all that type of shit. That doesn't help.
It
but
does not.
but you see in atmosphere there, because they're actually hovering over the ground, that there's this helldiver, and they do just like the American Legion in town, not here but in town. There's that statue of the helmet and the M16 and boots.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Like a burial.
Yeah. That's basically one of the pictures was that too. It was a super destroyer hovering over a very beautiful scenery of just like
So they kind of
grass.
have like a Vietnam vibe to it.
To a degree, yeah.
Yeah.
But this was on a different planet. It's not like
okay.
Malevelon Creek or anything. It's like I'm going to say Dropnir, because I think Dropnir is one of the planets I'm thinking of. And there's this helldiver sitting on top of a plateau, and there's 3 graves just sitting there. It's either 3 or 4. And they have the helldiver helmets, and they got the rifles in the ground or like a cross or whatever. And he's sitting there, saluting.
Wow.
And I was like, damn. Like, it's so emotional sometimes, these arts. I mean, even with a game, it's not real.
Yeah, but
But-
it's a tribute to the real thing.
Yeah, it's a tribute, yeah.
Art makes me feel things, and they make me feel things all the time when I see art.
Yeah, but it's very similar to see how certain connections can be made from art to reality, and
art imitates life, imitates art,
Yeah.
imitates life.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say that.
it's very amazing. So we're gonna cut this off right now, so you can tell your
Yeah.
story before.
I think we talk about art. I think life imitates art, or does art imitate?
Well, life had to happen
both.
before art.
Yeah, so art imitates life.
There's no chicken or the egg on this one.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it goes kind of both ways. Yeah.
Unless we're a simulation, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inside of a simulation, inside of a simulation, inside of a taco, inside of a simulation.
Okay, so the story of Christopher Walken. Okay, is when I was in Austin and I was doing a bunch of films and stuff, and a guy named David. He was in film too. So David's wife, I don't know what her name is, and I have no idea what film she was working on. I don't know where it was at, but there was a film that David's wife was working on, and she was a PA. PA is a production assistant, right? And so her job was basically to make sure that Christopher Walken got there, right? That's kind of this, a wrangler, kind of a wrangler. So PAs do a lot
you got
of
to
things.
turn Christopher Walken into Christopher Driving.
Christopher Drive, yeah. So this film they're filming, they're in. I guess I have no idea what state they're in. I have no idea where it's at. I have no idea what the name. But I know Christopher Walken. I don't know what year it took place. I don't know anything. All he knows. I kept asking these questions, and he goes, "I don't know. I don't know." So the story is where they're. It's 7 a.m. Everyone's there. PAs, all the extras, other actors, directors there, and they're like, "Where the hell's Chris?" They can't find Chris. Where the hell's Chris? And then someone said, he probably still has his hotel. And I was like, hey, can you go pick him up? And she's like, yeah, sure. So she goes to drive wherever. She gets to the hotel. She gets to his room. She knows where he's staying. And the room door to the hotel is ajar.
Oh.
The door's open, right? She goes, she knocks, Chris. And she walks in, doesn't see him anywhere. She's looking around. She looks around, doesn't see anybody in the room. She sees the restroom. She goes to the restroom. The restroom's ajar. She goes, knock, goes, Chris? Oh, hey, Chris. And, hey, Chris, yeah, he's in the tub. He's in the tub. He's taking a bath. He's just laying in the tub.
Christopher bathing.
Yeah, Christopher bathing. And she goes, hey, hey, Chris, we're ready for you on set. You ready to go? I'm here to give you a ride over there. And he just looks at her and goes, today, I'm an alligator. Okay, Chris. All right, we'll contact you in a little while. We'll give you some time, and we'll come back later. And she goes back to set, and they're just like, "Where the fuck is Chris?" It goes, "Well, today he said he was an alligator." And so the director goes, "All right, guys, that's a wrap. We're done for today."
He's an alligator. We're done.
All right, guys, we're done for today. Go ahead and call it a day. Yeah,
Today I'm an alligator.
yeah. So he just looked at her. He's like, "Today I'm an alligator." Like that.
Christopher
that's
Gator,
it.
bro. Christopher
That's-
Gator.
And again, I have no idea what movie it was. I don't know when it was done. It had to have been in the 2000s, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another story I heard about Chris. Now, I've heard this story once. I'm not sure if he does it all the time on all the sets. So he'll pretend it's his birthday. Because he has a craving. He's got a craving. I got a craving. He did on Saturday Night Live. I got a craving for some ice cream, whatever he said. But he goes, he had a craving for cake. And he goes, and he's acting all sad. He goes, what's wrong, Chris? Why are you sad? He goes, well, today's my birthday and no one made me a cake. So
What a power move.
like, oh shit, go get him a cake right now.
Get him a fucking cake.
So they went out, got a cake, put the candles and everything. They didn't know how old he was.
But Google says his birthday was 4 months
Yeah,
ago. Get him a fucking cake.
So they bring the cake and hey Chris, happy birthday! To get him all telling him to sing in the song. He's oh, this is great.
And that's
He's
when he
there.
goes, it's not my birthday.
Yeah, and then he eats the cake. Everyone eats cake because he had a craving for cake, and he goes, I'm sad right now because no one.
That's beautiful.
And so he takes advantage of that, and of course, they probably realize it's not his fucking birthday. That's two stories I know of Christopher Walken, but the alligator one, yeah.
So was it 2000s? Do you remember at all, or?
Okay, so when I was in Austin from 2000 for 20 years.
Yeah.
So
So it's about 2020 then, you'd say?
I'd say look at Christopher Walken for movies that are done from 2000 to 2020.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty wide range.
So,
Yeah, I know it's 20 years, man, and I have no idea if it was even.
Prophecy 3: The Ascent.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe, but again, you have to find out. Okay, how many films has ever made in those years?
That's true, but
It'd probably just be easier.
There's-
to ask.
if you go to IMDb,
I have his entire thing
IMDb?
up, but not IMDb, but that'll probably be a lot better than what
Go to
I'm doing.
IMDb and look at Christopher Walken, and it'll actually show you the years, and we can actually count from 2000 to 2020,
Yeah, give me a second.
and you can count how many movies he's did. And then not only that, each one of those movies, like God, there's probably a lot of them. You can be able to see the filming locations, and if they're in Texas, maybe it was that one.
Dude, it's the meme. It's the meme. I don't want to, but I got a shotgun. I don't care. It's the meme, bro.
Yeah, Christopher Walken's awesome, man.
Oh shit,
But-
man.
To segue
Yeah.
from Christopher Walken, I just watched Dune Part 2.
Boom.
I watched it. I saw it in theaters when it came out, but I just watched it again.
We
And-
watched it together, didn't
Part
we?
2?
In the movies.
I don't know if you went with us or not.
No, I
know-
did, I did.
went with my roommate for sure. But
No, I was there.
Part 2, the
Good.
movie, because the book, it's all one.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the timeline for me, I watched the first movie and I was like, holy shit, this is like Star Wars, but cool again.
Yeah.
So then I read the book and I was like, holy shit, this is really good fucking
Yeah.
perfect.
He's the closest to. But the second part is a little sped up.
Okay, yeah, that's the thing is, I thought the second movie was amazing. I thought it was great, but when other people there's other reviewers
It's still
that I've listened
good.
to, they dunk on it, they shit on it, they didn't like it.
Because it's not pure to the book. And it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, I
It's
get
still
it. The
good.
biggest gripes
it's
around,
the
like-
best.
Well, I bet you a lot of people did the same thing with Lord of the Rings.
They made it about Chani a little bit more than they say the
shouldn't have,
books.
yeah.
But yeah, because Chani's ride or die, and she understood the whole like marrying the emperor's daughter. Strategic, yes. She understood it in the book because she knew it was like,
Yes.
there's not going to be another bitch above me. This is just for show. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But in the movies, they're portraying it as like, I
Yeah.
don't like that. I'm
Shut
Zendaya.
the
I don't
fuck
like
up,
that.
bitch.
The funniest part is when Zendaya, there's a scene where he's having a hallucination or a dream or something where it's like there's nukes going off and Johnny gets like irradiated and gets her face burnt.
Yeah.
And like they show her face all burnt for like a few seconds. I was like, I busted out laughing when I saw that. It's supposed to be so fucked up and dark, but just seeing Zendaya with
laugh?
like a fucking burnt roasted marshmallow face, I was like, oh god, it got a chuckle out of me.
It's a damn good movie, man.
Oh,
You seen any Prophecy? You watch any of that?
prophecy.
Doom Prophecy?
Is that a show or
Yeah, show.
I just kind of.
Dude, as soon as
I like
It's
how they're going
okay.
with the movies. I'm afraid to dip my toes into other
Yeah.
stuff. I love the book. I love the books. I should say.
he was
But
showing. He was playing a video. It was just more like a synopsis of the episode. And kind of just diving into it. You were watching it. There was a scene where there was whales on the ice and everything. They were taking them apart.
Oh,
chopping
yeah,
the meat
yeah.
off.
Harry Wells?
Yeah. I looked at him. I looked at the whales and I was like, okay, it looks like a normal ass whale. Then we got like a close up and I was like, that's fucking hair.
Yeah, it's got fur. Hairy
whales.
Harry Wells.
It's cold in the ocean.
It's very
cold in the ocean.
They're just growing hair, keep themselves warm in the water.
What else are you gonna do? Grow some hair?
Like that's weird.
I'm surprised we don't have hairy crabs yet.
Everything is turning into a crab.
Right? Like
Hairy crabs.
evolving into crabs. Why aren't the crabs growing hair? It's cold.
That's when they get the hard shells.
Then the crabs could get crabs.
So I guess I'll do the stuff that I want to talk about.
What's that?
I had an idea for this episode, and I don't know how well it's going to fly by with YouTube with it.
So you wait until we're recording. and
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, but no, the thing is like I didn't bring it with me. That was
I
on
left my
the,
homework on the bus.
no, not the homework. No. I was going to talk about the evolution of guns.
Oh.
And everything.
We'll just go off the top of your head.
Yeah, well, I know, but what
Put a disclaimer.
the other idea
All
that,
information is wrong.
the other idea was I was going to talk about the evolution of guns, and then I was going to pull out the thing and just smack it onto the table.
No.
That was the plan because it was going to be show and tell to show them how
Easy.
no listen I know listen
Looks like someone didn't get their weaponsmithing at STI.
okay no SDI
SDI.
Sonoran Desert Institute but
Shout out Brendan Herrera.
but I was just going to show off how certain guns were made and how the specifics the specifications and how they were done like the Makarov. I own a Bulgarian Makarov and small little thing, but the barrel is like fixed into place. Like that's not a floating barrel. You can't when you take apart the gun, it's there. It's stuck.
What's your opinion on the Mosin Nagant?
The Mosin?
Yeah.
It was good when it was used. It's out of date, and the rounds are kind of dirt cheap. Not nowadays, but beforehand they were.
Have you shot him? Have you shot him before?
I would love to shoot a Mosin.
You've never shot a Mosin?
I never shot a Mosin.
Dude, man, talk about getting fucking kicked.
Oh yeah?
Jesus. Okay, my buddy had a Mosin Nagant. And his son would always say, "You have no power here. You have no power." You ever watch that?
Yeah.
It was
That's a
Rust.
scene. That's the scene from Lord of the Rings, wasn't it? You have
No,
no
it was-
power here.
No, it was a scene. It was a gameplay of Rust, and this guy had a Mosin.
Oh wait, I think you're talking about. I think you
And the
showed me
kid-
that.
Yeah, you have no power here. You have no power here. You got no rounds in there. The guys with a Mosin in the game. So he would always say, "You have no power here. You have no power." His little kid would say
No
that.
power here.
But man, okay, we were shooting at targets, and I hit him, and my God, okay, that thing is bolt action, right?
Yes, bolt.
And I shoot, boom, boom. I would go with the bang up so I could charge it, come back down, and I was hitting the targets every time.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn! I was like, how many the Russians use this?
Yeah, that was their standard infantry rifle.
God, that thing could. I don't know.
Dude, the most that I got is a 5-shot bolt action internal magazine fed military rifle, known officially as the 3-line rifle M1819. 1919, my bad.
That
Correction.
shit
M1891 in Russia and the former Soviet Union as the Mosin's rifle and informally as the Mosinka. I said that.
But what's
totally
the
wrong.
Mosin Nagant? What's the?
So the round that it shoots is a 7.62
Yeah.
by 54 MMR.
It's a big round.
That's a big
Yeah,
boy.
yeah. So, but it's just
It's the same AK round, right? It's the same.
AK shoot a 7.62 by 39.
How big is? What's the difference? A bigger shell and the Mosin, right? I'm illiterate when it comes.
I
to
don't know. I'm not
But
too sure. I
man,
have to look it
that
up. I'm
motherfucker.
not that big of a gun enthusiast like Vernon Herrera. So,
So do you have a Mosin?
no, I do not. I own a Bulgarian Makarov.
Just that, tell all the feds every weapon
Yeah.
you have, every
Yeah.
firearm.
Don't tell me. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you ever get a chance, man, shoot one.
I'll
damn, that's
parade the Makarov because that's history right there. Especially learning when the satellite states during the Soviet Union, like they had to like if the UN was supposed to invade and all that they gave the blueprints and the patents to the satellite states to make their own weapons.
Yeah.
That was the whole point. What are you going to say?
So you're Makarov, right? Yeah.
Makarov,
Yeah,
yes.
did you put it back together?
I have not do that yet.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I need
Put
to.
it back together.
I need to, but it's very interesting, especially seeing that one of the satellite states had access to the AK blueprints and patents and schematics and all that. Not patents, schematics, and they changed it. I think it was like the KVZ or something like that. I could be
The
wrong.
Hungarians or
I don't know. Let me look it up. KZ AK style rifle. But no. Oh, we're going to what the fuck? AK.
because you were talking about gunpowder.
Yeah, gunpowder. So the
So the
10th
Chinese are the ones in it.
So we're actually going to start from the beginning.
Doodaloo.
Oh, wrong one.
And the 10th century China, gunpowder is made, right? So they could do like fireworks and stuff like that. But
pretty firework.
you know how we humans are. Like, can this be used for military
weapon,
application?
yeah.
I'm just
for a
thinking of
weapon?
bottle rockets, and the one person decided, it would be funny if I shoot this bottle rocket at fucking Steve over there.
Have you ever been hit by I got hit by a bottle rocket.
Did you?
Roman
I'm
Canada
not moving.
fights, dude.
I'm not moving. I'm not moving.
You never played?
Boom.
You played Roman candle
Oh, hell
chicken?
yeah.
Yeah, just stand still and you did 30 paces and and then you get the ones that you don't tell your buddy. You have the one with the little firecracker that explode after they shoot out. You don't tell them that. Get shrapnel in their ass.
Yeah, that's so much fun.
I'm not sorry.
Fucking
I'm not
dangerous.
sorry. Yeah. I can't think of the name now. I'm having issues with trying to say the name.
Because gunpowder is a combination of was it charcoal?
Saltpeter and
Saltpeter.
saltpeter. And they got that from Poopy and decomposed the corpses.
Yeah. But
Poopy.
There's
But-
an anime that taught me about that.
So there's some illustrations. I don't know how. I think it was probably based in China and all that type of stuff. But
think so,
they would attach these tubes. They would hold the gunpowder and what type of projectiles they would use, basically creating the first shotgun or scatter gun.
Kaboom boom.
So it's basically a shotgun on a stick.
Basically, yes.
Yeah, on a long
And
stick.
without a trigger assembly or anything. So it's just like you just get like a fuse. You just put it in there. You light it, and then it just shoots out. It spreads in a wide area because that's what shotguns are. They can just spread out.
This is a mini portable cannon.
Basically, it's
Wow.
so essentially when guns were first made, I have a hard time calling it a gun. They started off with metal tubes tied to spears with powder and projectiles in them, and they were called fire lances by whom I don't know, but that's what the wiki article said when I looked it up.
Some guy on Wiki said it was that.
Yeah,
so it's
basically,
that.
I guess. Yeah,
Did you guys ever watch that show?
you just gonna cut in my shit, man.
Oh, sorry.
You're just gonna cut.
Sorry.
You're gonna cut in my time to talk.
Derail.
Shut up! I'm the gatekeeper. All right, I'm the gatekeeper.
Oops, someone got muted.
Oh, you bitch! You is a bitch. All right,
I hold all the power here.
but it's very interesting, especially with what was the name of this manufacturer? There is a shotgun that I just watched recently from ForgottenWeapons.com. From not what- .com.
ForgottenWeapons.com
Yeah.
/YouTube. Yeah.
Forgotten Weapons with Ian McCollum. So Gun Jesus, as some people call
I
him.
thought Brendan Herrera was Gun Jesus.
Uh,
He's Gun Moses, I guess.
well, I don't know. Either way, it doesn't really matter.
Wait, what does that make Donut Operator?
I don't care right now.
I'm trying to derail you.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said I don't care. But he was showing off the shotgun. It was really weird because it didn't have a trigger guard. No, it did have a trigger guard. It didn't have a pump. So most shotguns, besides like automatics or semi-automatics, they have a pump, right? Pump action shotgun. Very reliable, way more reliable than a semi-auto, in my opinion. But this one, I forgot the creator of the creator that did this, but it was a folding shotgun. So you got the shotgun's about like maybe this big, and you would from where the main part of the main shooty part meets the buttstock. That's when it kind of just breaks.
It's like a loaded shell?
It can have shells in it too if it's loaded. I think. I'm
Is
assuming.
this like an ancient weapon or what is it?
No, this is not an ancient weapon. This is like modern firearms.
Oh, okay.
Not like when modern firearms became modern firearms. So like probably like 40s, not 40s. At the beginning of World War I, all the way to like probably the Cold War during this time, I would think, but I could be wrong on that. But the shotgun really it looks like a really nice shotgun, but it didn't have a pump. So the way they would do it, this guy he designed it. The pump was behind on the guard itself, not the guard. Shit, I'm having a hard time explaining this. It's near the buttstock, so it's like right here where you wrap your arm around it. Your arm, god damn it! When you wrap your hand around it to get to the trigger to pull it, you would have to move the action, which is on the grip, pull it down, and it will chamber another round. Yeah, so it's like right here, right? I got my gun ready. I'm going to shoot, bang, and then I have to cock it back and do it again. I think it was called like a thumb style or something like that. Oh no, I'm mixing guns here, but it's very interesting. And then there's another firearm from Forgotten Weapons that I saw. It was a thumb trigger single shot 22 LR rifle. I don't know who made it. I kind of forgot about it, but it's a bolt action. It's a single shot. So you pull the bolt back, put the round in, close it. It chambers, and it doesn't have a trigger where it normally is. So when you're holding the rifle like this, and you would like go down and try to reach it and just bam, shoot it, trigger's not there. It's right here behind the bolt. So
That's gross. I don't like thinking about that.
Listen. People who got used to it were able to like quickly load it and shoot it multiple times.
This is like World War I? What is this?
I don't know what time this was being made. So
Oh, okay.
Google it real quick.
Yeah, I
find-
need to, but just let me continue on.
We'll let you cook.
but
We'll let you cook.
how guns are made, how they started off to how they are now is very interesting, especially when during this time where like multiple guns came in, some really weird designs. Some of those designs may work, some of those didn't. Clearly, one of them. This is like a very modern, a very like 20th century, maybe like 20th century type of gun. It's called a Zap. The Zip. My bad, Zip. And that one's a piece of shit because the way you were supposed to use it is you would stick it's like a little block about like this big, and the barrels are sticking out. The barrel's sticking out. It's like a little block in your hands. You put it in, it shoots 22. And you put it in there, but the way to shoot it, there's no normal trigger on this thing. It's up here next to the barrel.
Oh God.
Especially the safety too. I don't think it's a safety, but it was up here to the barrel. So you have to hold the gun like this. Like this. And then, nobody liked it because it's a fucking safety hazard because you shoot the fingers off.
Yeah.
Clearly, and you have to like hit the thing and it just shoots, and it didn't feed properly. It didn't do that. But seeing all the guns being made, like at the beginning, it was just sticks, middle tubes, powder, and projectiles. And then you get into like muskets, blunderbusses, matchlock, all that. There was a very interesting gun design too. The East India Company actually bought this, and it was the first semi-auto musket. I don't want to say it's musket,
Whoa.
but it was essentially it's a Roman candle. It's a Roman candle magazine, and you got your gun right. You got your musket or whatever. Mm-hmm. It has a interchangeable magazine tube, and you would put it in there, and essentially each round is in this tube, and it would just burn through the first one, just fire it off, fires it off, fires it off, fires it off. And the guy that made it, it worked. Like the guy had the idea, he did it, and it worked just fine. There was no issues with it. And
But it's a one-shot deal.
it shoots, and then it shoots again, and then it shoots
can't
again.
stop
So
it.
it's like
Yes.
that Uzi.
You can stop it?
No.
Oh, you can't.
Okay, well,
It's like that Mac 10 where it's like they rip the and then.
the picture that I showed you.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that up.
But it was a Roman candle style. That's at least what it was called, a Roman candle style magazine.
Yeah.
So it would go through the first round and it'll just shoot, and then it goes through the first round and it shoots. It get burned.
Yeah.
It's
Like
weird.
a rocket. Reverse rocket.
Basically.
Red Rocket.
This guy he did it for rifles, and I think there was like 3 digits, like low 3 digits to probably middle 3 digits made for the East Indian Company, and you can stop it, but I don't remember how to do it, but you can actually see how it is supposed to operate and everything.
Wow.
And the weirdest thing is, I do have to say about it is it has multiple fucking triggers. I'm not kidding. Like, this is how long the trigger is. And there's multiple other triggers right there for each individual shot. So you can shoot them individually, but you just like bam, 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 bam. But you have to
What if
like,
you do it out of order?
I don't think that works. I could be wrong though, because there's still like shot and other propellant in front of the other shot. So if you do it behind, you just basically essentially make a grenade in your hands.
So this is after flintlock, or is this like
I think it's
precursor to
I
flintlock?
have to I'm probably just like not clearly conveying or exactly telling how the gun operates or during what time and era these weapons were made, but I could probably pull up a video. I'll send you the link to it, and I'll probably look through it right quick and just give you the actual like editor's notes or whatever to be like correct information about what this individual rifle did and all that type of stuff. But it's very interesting, especially when the shotgun that I talked about, like it kind of breaks open. It's meant for like easier carry, so you're not carrying around a shotgun all the time or doing like this and holding.
Were
the
these
rifle.
weapons like were they used for like
So the shotgun, the break action shotgun that I was talking about, that was made for a prison up in New York, I think it was.
whoa.
Yeah. So the guy.
These weren't like for naval ships. This is
So the East India Company did use those rifles that I talked about, those
Yeah.
muskets, whatever they were. They did use them. I don't know what they did to them, but they also did some modifications to them, or asked for these type of modifications be done.
to ward off pirates. Or some shit.
Some of the weapons that I'm trying to describe probably were used in some sort of conflict or militant action. But the 22 LR it seems more like a plinker, so it doesn't really matter. We're hunting squirrel. That one is just like a hunting rifle probably.
But these weapons are 1900s or 1800s.
The shot
All over?
the shotgun and the single action, the thumb trigger single action 22. Those were made way before way after. My bad. Way after flintlocks and
So
all that
1800s, 1900s then.
yeah, and what was it? But just learning about this is pretty good. Started from fire lances all the way to box magazines, belt fed, auto loading naval guns,
Yeah.
all that type of stuff. The thing was, I was kind of hesitant because I was starting off like, oh yeah, let's talk about how firearms went from just sticks with fucking metal tubes on them that shoots boomstick that shoots shit, and go all the way up to the GAU 8 Avenger on the Warthog.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting because
Projectile weapons.
but just like how very how it started and how it's currently going.
I got one question for you.
Yeah, what's that?
Laser or plasma?
Oh shit. Okay, well,
Plasma.
if we're talking about Fallout,
man.
if we're talking about Fallout plasma, but if we're talking about Helldivers 2, laser, because
Plasma. Okay, I was more of a laser guy in Fallout, but
Well,
this is me.
I think lasers were meant for piercing through armor, and plasma was supposed to take out like the less armored units.
Okay, fair
in Fallout.
Because there's a what was it?
Dude, I just get energy weapons to 100 and I take out anybody.
There was a. God dang, I can't. Okay, there was a show called Warriors
Warriors.
where they would put up a samurai against a knight.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now.
I think I watched that.
Okay, so once, I think it pretty much came out once gunpowder was invented. That was it. That was
is
it.
the end of the samurai.
That was the end of anything. Like just like once.
Oh,
gun-
the samurai even had their own guns too.
Yeah, they had rifles too because they learned that from the Portuguese, I think it was, or something.
Yes.
So the once gunpowder was introduced into combat, anything previous to that just lost because of all the from like caveman to before gunpowder was created, the best soldier was a Spartan because of the armor, the shield, and the sword.
and the discipline.
Yeah, the Spartan was like the best of all that. Better than the samurai.
Better
than
have
anybody.
discipline
So
with all
Spartan.
those oily naked men around you.
So sexy.
Shut the fuck up.
So after at once they had a competition where they had a knight against a buccaneer, like a pirate buccaneer with the
Buccaneer.
with the fucking flintlocks, like the pirates.
Yes.
The pirate won because he had multiple guns on him, and the armor would pierce the armor, and the knight's dead.
I like to think they actually just straight up had like a fight to the death. They're like, oh, I wonder who'd win. Back in the
But
day,
once,
you could do that.
so they had to separate that. Yeah, once they realized in the show, it's like, okay, anything that's pre gunpowder, that's totally separate. And once gunpowder came in, that changed everything after that. Yeah.
Another turning point was when the first Great War happened, when we went from more like smaller guerrilla type conflicts to like industrial scale warfare.
Oh God, yeah.
That's
that
crazy
was
to think
that was a thing that when I was in the Alamo, there was a guy, the reenactor there. What's that?
This is the Teganashi.
Oh, look at
take it. Fuck. Take a Shinami, whatever. I don't know how to
There's
say
a
it.
flint, the little.
I can do
the wick.
the Romangia. It's Tanegashima.
Okay.
Tanegashima.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a pretty cool looking. Yeah.
So this one in particular is very ornate. So like
decorated.
decorated, just like the samurai armor and
Yeah.
everything like that. So the interesting about say it again. So I can say it.
Tanegashima. If I repeat it in my head enough, I'll be able to say it fast.
Tanegashima.
Hey.
The Tanegashima, it's not meant to be shouldered.
Right.
It's meant to be shot here.
Yeah.
Right here. So,
But
that's
those
a face-
barrels weren't okay. That was a.
Not scrape your face.
so the
They
samurai
probably didn't
do-
have much of a kick.
The samurai, I guess not all of them had like faceplate armor or something, like ornate as that. But it probably didn't kick as much as a lot of people would think because it's. I don't know how the recoil
Primitive
worked.
Yeah, primitive.
Yeah,
projectile.
but here is what they would look like. Here's a thumbnail of it right here. So
Well, you've played Ronin, not Ronin, but like strategic games like Axis vs Allies,
yeah,
American
I
Fortress,
never played those.
Shogun.
Civilization.
Oh,
No, Shogun,
like
the board game.
like
okay.
Total War
Yeah.
Shogun. I know what you're talking
man.
about.
So you had riflemen, you had spearmen, you had samurais. You can, you basically it's a board game for domination of the Japanese island.
Yes.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's a really good game. I used to play a shitload of that when I was in high school. Yeah.
Yeah, that you should. It's been made into a video game, so I don't know if
Yeah.
it's on. I don't know if it's supported on Mac, but you should totally buy it.
There's
if it is.
God dang it, I'm trying to think of like
Total War got a hand of that, hold of it, and made it into a game.
Well, remember the Total War, not Total. The same game, the same guys who did not Risk, Axis and Allies.
yeah,
They did Fortress America, and if you look at the Fortress America box cover, Saddam Hussein's on the cover before we went to war with him.
Wow.
really.
Yeah, it was like they predicted about a couple of years before. So they showed a desert, and if you look at Fortress America, and you look at try to find old photos of like the first boxes that ever came out, and it's a desert war, and you see it's Saddam, and you see an American general like Schwarzkopf, and it doesn't look like Schwarzkopf, it looks like Schwarzkopf, and you have Saddam. And then later on, it's like, oh, we got that too accurate. Let's put some sunglasses on. And they put sunglasses on Saddam.
It just made him look cooler.
Yeah, it looked cool. He did like mustache and everything. So that was what was it?
I didn't realize this was a board game.
Yeah, Shogun.
I
Look,
think
look.
I think I
Look it
found
up.
it. Yeah,
Zoom in.
if it
That's he's
if
wearing
it
glasses,
loads.
right? He's wearing sunglasses.
Yeah, he's wearing sunglasses right here.
That's Saddam, dude. That's Saddam. No. Find what year that is and try to find the older ones. And it's before. We were in high school. This is like a couple of years.
This is on the Steam Workshop.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
This picture. I don't know what it's for. I should click on it to see, but
It's probably
But
someone
look at-
talking about
wouldn't that be
this.
a cool photo? For like a put it for the wall? Like
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
artwork
that would
and
be
put
cool.
it. That looks fucking cool.
yeah, it would be. It would
Deck
be
out
cool.
the bunker.
What was it?
Deck out the bunker. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the idea of the mass casualties in the Civil War is because the American Civil War, the tactics were Napoleonic,
yes.
and so Napoleon was when he conquered all of Europe, like the first Antichrist, right? When Napoleon conquered pretty much all of Europe, pretty much except for Russia, then the U.S. kind of adopted that, and then we went further. But the problem with the Civil War, the reason why there was 500,000 soldiers that died, because we lost, what was it? I think we lost more Americans in the Civil War than in World War II. And the reason why we lost so many men in World War II, American Civil War, is because the technology outdid the tactics. And then they had the Gatling gun, you had the cannons, you had the rifles, all in line.
Oh, you remember the Revolutionary War, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I remember. I was there.
yeah, you were there. The tactics during that too was still Napoleonic, but
Yeah. No, wait, hold on. This is
some
before-
parts was it?
Well,
Because-
similar because Napoleon's tactics basically that's where the American Civil War they learned from that. But before Napoleon, they were definitely having wars in Europe that the British were way before Napoleon, way before the American. So they were doing line tactics, but that's been around for a couple hundred years.
Yes.
Until Napoleon perfected it.
Yeah.
He was able to do more, I guess, a tactic. I don't understand that part of it, but I know that when it came to the Civil War, because we're using Napoleonic tactics, they didn't have Gatling guns back then. They didn't have rifles, the more accurate rifles back then.
Yeah.
So when you put the American Civil War, that's why we got killed. And then it also led it because that's what the guy was telling me. When we were on the Alamo. He was telling me he was a reenactor, and he was telling me also that. In the Alamo, when the Texians, or actually the Texians, but they're the Louisiana Grays and the Tennesseans, when they became Texians, basically, that the rifles they had there were rifled. They're rifles. Yes, they were rifled, and everyone else, the small percentage of the I gotta call them Americans, but the small percentage of the Texians that were there, most of them had rifled muskets, and the Mexican army had just muskets. They weren't
Smooth
rifled.
bore.
Yeah, smooth bore. So they had the big old 50 caliber fucking round, and that's why when they show the movie, when Davy Crockett shoots a lapel off his shoulder, I don't know if that's really happened or not, but the reason why he was able to hit him is because he had a rifled He had
More accurate, yeah.
Yeah, it was rifled. That's why.
Yeah, so during the Revolutionary War, that was meant for like like hunting and all that type of stuff. The rifles.
Did they have rifles back then?
They had rifles that were
Wow.
rifled, and the thing is, like, they were still using smoothbore muskets during that time too. So like you if you hit the side of the broad side of a barn, you're a marksman. You're a marksman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And
just went everywhere.
it was everywhere, whatever. But the official army didn't, at least the British, at least I would say, didn't see the utilization of these rifles, because apparently it took it was like more to maintain a rifle to rifle than a fucking regular ass smoothbore one. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember the reason why they didn't adopt
More
it.
cleaning.
Yeah,
I
probably.
imagine.
But farmers around America during that time, or people in the 13 colonies, were using these rifles, and they would use basically guerrilla tactics against the British army.
Those were Indian tactics.
Yeah.
So they adopted basically terrain to help them fight,
Yes.
and that's why a lot of these hit and run. Yeah, that's the reason why we kind of beat them, because a lot of interesting tactics.
What?
I hate you.
I hate you.
Fucking. But it's like the technology outdoing the tactics.
Yep.
is truer, especially in this day and age too, when we got drones
Jesus
being
Christ.
used.
Well, I don't even think
It's not even way skilled yet. but-
we're at a really pivotal point here, because we're going to see if we revert back to original like boots on the ground conflict, like physically fighting warfare, or if we're going to continue on this path of
Have you
soft
seen Black
power.
Ops 2? Come on.
Dude, I can't wait till Kevin Spacey's the president. That's my favorite
Oh my
part.
god.
But no,
Kevin Spacey.
we're oh fuck, I forgot what I was saying.
Advanced Warfare, he wasn't a president. He was a CEO of a mercenary company.
Well, whatever. I think
In
we're
arms.
gonna see more of the fifth generational warfare, where it's like psychological operations more so, winning hearts and minds with soft power, as opposed to invading or annexing.
Yeah.
I think it's more so going to be that. We're still going to have our little spurts of like the Ukraine, and then the October 6th.
It almost seems when I think about when I think of like the Ukraine war and Russia, I kind of think it's like, what's the fucking point? It just seems
NATO is encroaching on Russia. That's the point.
Yeah, I understand.
They're trying
why.
They're trying to stop Russia's access to the Black Sea, and then
Yeah.
that would cripple Russia's economy if they couldn't trade oil, because they're the gas station.
Yep.
You take away their gas, they have nothing.
Oh, that's,
Which
sucks.
sucks.
They shouldn't have. Oh man, it's just a big mess, man.
They shouldn't
I
have.
wish they weren't fighting, because I still get a little. I get a little freaked out and traumatized when I see them on both sides getting killed, and it just it freaks me out, because god damn it, that could be us. That could be.
It could be our kin. It could be
Yeah.
family members dying. For
You
this
go,
stuff.
maybe, okay, you can call me a racist, whatever, but the thing is, when I see Europeans fighting each other like a war like that, stop it. We should be fighting the Chinese.
There we go. Yeah.
Now we're talking.
Now we're talking.
Now we're talking here.
Is that I don't
I
like
think-
seeing. I'm tired. I'm at a point now, because I remember what was really weird for me when I went in. We have a country here that has all these denominations, right? All these nationalities, and then it's ideology. Then it's not based on peoples. It's an ideology, because being American is really it's an idea. It's
I'm leaning more on it's not just an idea anymore. I used to be of that mindset, but it's also the people as well.
well, the culture become that. That's
It's like
I
I
just
don't
don't
think
see.
America wouldn't be America if we replace everyone in America.
No, yeah, we can't
Even
change.
if they shared the same ideas, it's still, I don't think it would be. It would have to be a one-to-one mirror. Like, they share all the ideas.
They have to share our ideas, because I don't have no problem with immigrants coming in. Just do it legally, and not only that, it's like
I agree, do it legally, but I understand that there is limits on legal immigration as well.
Yeah.
Like, we can't just.
you can't just replace. You can't do that.
if
like,
you're a criminal,
we're
you shouldn't be in
essentially
the country.
allowing the illegal crossings right now to be legal, because we're not fucking deporting.
It's fucking bullshit. No, man, the new border czar.
Tom Holland or
Holman. I think his name,
Tom.
yeah, that guy's awesome.
Look him up real
I
quick.
love that guy.
New borders are.
Yeah, he's
New border.
talking about
What he's talking
12
about.
million
And when AOC was asking, it was like, "You want to separate families?" I was like, "Well, there's
we
no
did
need
all-
to separate them. We'll deport
We'll
the
just-
kids
Should,
too."
should I actually,
Yeah, like,
should,
fuck yes,
fuck yeah.
who
should I,
gets it?
should
The
I
fuck
actually
outta
type
here.
it? No, never mind. There we go. New borders are.
And he also brought up the point where it was like, well, if a drunk driver gets arrested and
Tom
he has a kid with him,
Homan?
we're not going to send the kid to jail with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put him in
Guy
foster
named
care.
Tom Homan or
Yeah,
something like
that's
that.
him. Yeah.
Yes, that guy. I put him up on screen.
Well, because remember I was telling you about the Alamo, right? How when too many Americans came into Tejas, what happened? Demographics changed, and so we need to learn from that, and not let that happen to us. Like, nope, fuck out of here.
But there is a
fuck
weird
outta here.
phenomenon that happens when, like, GDP gets to a certain point, the birth rate starts to decline. And
Okay, we want to talk about Magto. Where are we at?
can we condense it into like 4 minutes?
How much time?
we're almost at the 2 hour mark. That's,
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell? This went by quick.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay, well, though,
Time flies by when you're
no,
having fun.
population decreases because Japan's evaporating because, and then you have Italy evaporating. We're evaporating.
I think it has to do with when women enter the workforce.
Yeah. Okay. And then when you give women money and you give them education, this is what happens. And you can bitch and complain all to me about that, but okay, now I'm all for it when we put it in Africa or in Asia.
I think we give the option,
Give them the
but
option.
we show what happens as well. It's like,
Because Western civilization is crumbling because of this, and people are, well, let's educate the women. And what happens? Population decreases. Well, I wonder what it is.
I think it's all the extra incentives, like for STEM, getting
Yeah.
women into STEM and getting into all of these fields. It's like, how come they're getting a leg up here? How about we just
Yes.
put the grants out for anybody who wants to do it?
Well, see, that I think that falls in with the H-1 visa too. You're bringing in cheap labor, women, basically.
That was essentially, it was part of a conspiracy there where they're bringing women into the workforce essentially doubles the amount of workforce, but they don't have to increase the pay or anything. That was the whole point of that. Yeah.
I don't think it's, man, people don't fucking, they're ignorant to what fucking's there.
But what you're saying about women or giving women education
And
all
money.
That reminded me a lot of Turd Flinging Monkey.
Yes,
I've
yes.
heard from that guy.
That dude,
Yeah.
okay, I had to stop listening to him because it got real dark. It's getting too dark and it gets
That's-
depressing.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot from that guy of like what he says. Like, he's fucking making sense. And every single time I see it, well, why are girls having babies? Like, you wonder why, dumbass? This is the fucking answer. Well, it can't be that. Well, then shut the fuck up. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. That is the cause. And it's repeal the 19th, repeal the 18th. Is it 18th? Which one gave the men the right to vote to? Because it was after the Civil War. The only difference between women voting in the 19th, right, the 19th Amendment.
19th just gave them a pass on the selective service. So they could still vote. It's just they didn't have to sign up for selective
Fucking
service.
bullshit.
Right?
Fucking bullshit.
Yeah. So we have
So-
women who don't fight in the wars deciding whether to go.
Men
to the wars.
went 50 years. Men didn't have the right to vote
Mm-hmm.
either. It's what it should be. It should only be landowners who have skin in the game. Now, we can put a category of landowners, change that to where veterans, law
I
enforcement.
think some kind of like, I go back to the Starship Troopers where it's like a
Yes.
citizenship type
Yes.
deal.
You don't get a vote in the federal level.
Some kind of civil service, and I think
Yes.
even dumbing it down to the point where it's like you're literally just picking up trash next to the highway for about like 8 hours a week. I think, boom, you do that. You're willing to sacrifice 8 hours a week to vote. All right, that's already
That's what
more
I'm
than
saying.
baseline.
There has you can't just give a whole apartment complex full of fucking losers who have no. If you have property, if you pay taxes, if you're a veteran, you have the right to vote.
Or some kind of civil service.
Civil
I
service,
agree with
something.
That.
So
Yes.
you can't just let any loser fucking no. I don't agree with that.
Another argument is with automation coming about and
Yeah.
creating a whole new class of Luddites, essentially, where we're automating certain fields of specialization. I think the universal basic income argument is coming closer and closer, and I think
Man, that's
the way
bullshit.
to balance it here's a good idea. I don't remember exactly where I heard this from, but essentially, if you collect universal basic income,
You have no vote.
no vote.
No vote for you, motherfucker.
You can collect it. You can live off this welfare, but you don't get a
You have
say.
no fucking say.
No say.
You have zero fucking say.
I think that is a way to balance it out. I don't
Fuck
know.
yeah.
I can't think of the problems that would arise from that, but I'm sure there are some. But if you have any, leave them in the comments.
Yeah,
love to
I
riff
don't
on
think
that.
that's what I'm saying. I don't. Have we talked about this? This is pretty.
The service guaranteeing citizenship. thing.
Well, the whole the 19th and
We've
all that
talked
too.
about it, but not
We-
on here.
no-
I don't think
oh,
we've
man.
gone super in depth, but that
It
could
just
be.
you can see how fucking pissed I get. I'm saying
Yeah.
because it's on the skin. It's under my skin because these people are so fucking ignorant. Now look. I tell you what, right now, man. From Texas to here, the women here are strong. The Kansan women are definitely a different breed because there's something about them that they let the man be a man. You know, and I no, again, I'm not saying that all women should be pregnant and
Yeah,
at
barefoot
home.
in the kitchen,
Not that. No.
pregnant, yeah.
I'm saying there are some smart ones, and there's that 4%. And it's a Thinking Monkeys. TFM says that there's a 4% that join the military. There's 4% that can kick my ass. There's 4% that can be a cop. I totally disagree with women being in the military. I totally disagree with that. They should be in fucking supply.
No front lines.
No front lines because the IDF has proven that time. They don't put the women in the front; they put them in the rear,
It creates too many scenarios
Yes.
where the male protector instinct is going
and
to kick
it's
in.
you're gonna
and
it fucks everything up. And I don't agree with. I don't like it. man.
there's also
I
the
don't like it.
base bunny stereotype that's going to arise no matter what.
Yes,
and
and I fuck can't stand
it
those.
creates too many
Yeah.
issues.
It's just men having the lack of internal validation, and we talked about that with one of our friends, and it's like, man, I couldn't see. There's no way I would have been able to understand what that meant, what internal validation means. All this deals with Magto, men going their own way, and it was me living my life as a monk, and I realizing, oh fuck, I'm that. I'm like, oh my god. But I found it by accident because I was living it, and I found it. I was like, oh my god, that's what I'm doing. It's working for me. It worked for me. It basically helped me. It gave me a foundation for genealogy.
As Rollo, the rational male, would put
Yeah.
it, making yourself your mental point of origin.
Yes.
Think of yourself first before anybody else, and then after you're good, you can help others.
There you go. And that's not bad. That's not a bad thing because that is internal validation. Your validation is with you. There's nothing. You have to think of the future. You have to remember the past to live in the present. You have to fucking do that. How do I make my life better? What mistakes did I make in the past? How do I, it's all you. You have to think like that. And in order to think like that's when you have internal validation, you can actually do that. And when you can actually help yourself first, not in a selfish way, it's not being selfish. You have to how are you going to take care of anybody if you can't take care of your fucking self? How are you going to preach to me to make my bed or clean my room if you don't have your own fucking house in order?
Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson. Get the fuck out of here with that. You don't have enough experience in life to be fucking telling, well, my ideology says this. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You have no right to vote. You have never done service. You have no understanding of what sacrifice means. Hard work. You have no fucking idea. That's the part that really fucking pisses me off. There are some lessons to learn from Magto, but you gotta step away from it eventually. You're gonna have to, hey, I like women too, man. I like their asses and I like titties. But like, goddamn, it's you have to love yourself first before you can love them titties and asses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Care about don't be a fucking simp. That's kind of the whole thing. Ugh, fuck, man. So much fucking frustration with this shit.
I think we could turn that into a whole segment on the next episode.
What's that one, Magto?
Yep. Not so much MagTow, but just like the whole I think Rollo calls it intersectional dynamic or intersexual dynamics, something like that.
Is it basically men arguing that it's
Relations between the sexes, like how it
works, how it really
not the actual fucking part, but
no,
like
not the, yeah. Well, when you talk about these kind of things, there can be arguments. There's nothing wrong with that. You can argue on certain things, but when men argue, men talk, it's basically steel sharpening steel. That's what you're doing. When you argue with somebody or you're with a guy, whatever, you're basically there's no like when we were talking to our friend. It's like I was getting impatient because I couldn't get through to him, and that's my fault. That's because I wasn't able to help him understand what I'm talking about. Like the main thing. God damn it! I don't know how to fucking explain this. Like it just because it worked for me doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. That's true also. But I fucking know that when you find internal validation, it's like the shit has been fucking pulled away. The fog is lifted.
getting your mojo back.
Yeah, and you see, that bitch is crazy. oh, that chick's pretty cool. Oh, that dude's pretty cool too. You know, like you start seeing things for what they really are, and you like, okay, you steer away from crazy people. You steer away from bad ideas, and you start going to people that are having something in common. Not an echo chamber, but you know, it's just those are the kind of things that it just takes life to understand that. You have to experience it in life. I don't know. I'm rambling. But that's why I
follow.
Yeah, it's just a hard thing to. God damn it, it's a hard thing to talk about. Like, how do you? 'Cause I think I'm like, what are we doing here, right? Hopefully, we help somebody see something. Like we're the rehashing of information in the past. I like that. I did crazy ideas of aliens and all this shit. That's pretty cool stuff. But is it real? I don't know. Most of it, I think, is real. They're good stories, that's for damn sure. But then when you talk about guns, like those are all things that I like to talk about because, like, what are we doing here? We're talking about cool things, and how do we use it in life, right? You know, I'm thinking too. It's like, well, like for me, man, when I think about all of this, wealth.
No. I was gonna say like, well, if it's a gun, you just put it in your hands, you
you
point
shoot it.
and you shoot. Make sure you know what's behind it, of course.
Yeah.
Only shoot when you're intent on destroying a target.
Yeah.
So
that's and there's a lot of lessons here that we can share with each other.
Yeah.
And hopefully we make the right decisions in life. But I think it all is really, oh man, yeah.
I
Man,
think
you gotta.
if we were supposed to do a moral, do a moral this episode is
Don't hold E on the cognitive disruptor.
that too. No, that was the monolith.
That's a monolith?
That was the monolith.
Oops.
Yeah, so is basically police yourself.
Yeah.
Essentially is that, especially with stupid things around, especially with this part right here individually, is to police yourself because each day, every night, every moment of your living, breathing life, the only person that you're going to be living with is you.
Police yourself, or the police gonna police your ass.
Yeah.
Don't.
But I've definitely learned things from you guys. And
What the fuck have you learned from me? That's the
No,
question.
there's
I want you to reconsider, please.
no, there's things I learned from you guys that are interesting, like the stories you guys tell, or anything, or the story, you know, anything you guys talk about. I find interesting. I'm not like totally like, oh, I know everything. You know,
Duh.
no, fuck off with that. I'm not gonna be doing that. But that's why I'm glad. I'm really happy we're doing this. I can't believe we're doing this.
I'm enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it.
This is better than D&D.
It's got me like
D&D. Oh, don't let the other guys hear you say that.
That was a joke.
I love D&D.
But if it wasn't for D&D, we wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well,
and that's, you know,
I feel like it was probably there at some point, but D&D was the catalyst. For
it was.
sure.
No, it was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Especially when most of the time I was just fucking winging it.
I think for I want to make plans. I can't believe it's been 2 hours. It's like it's
Yeah.
yeah. We want to wrap a bow on this real quick, and then
yeah,
Probably,
next
yeah.
All right.
video, I'm gonna focus on Simia forms a little bit again.
I have no idea what I'm going to do next video. Probably more rehashing on
talk
what I'm
about
trying to
monkeys.
fucking say.
I want to talk about monkeys. Talk more about monkeys next.
Yeah.
anything else? Anything?
No, nothing.
I just have a cool announcement. It's not really like it didn't happen just now. It's actually this. Okay, let me just start. So the lectern guy, you January 6th, the lectern guy.
Like, oh yeah.
Okay, the guy. It was a podium or lectern. It was a lectern. The guy, he took it from under like the stairs or out of the way, and then like posed for a picture with it, and then put it back during the J6 riots.
Yeah.
And then he got like, I think he got jailed. I don't know. I don't know his story 100%, but I know the guy who he is. He was on the first episode of this year for Timcast, and I want to point out he follows me on Twitter.
Whoa.
So therefore, he endorses all of the things I say.
Okay. All right.
No way.
I just wanted to shout that out because like him,
That's pretty cool.
Him and then Tobuscus replying to me about the coolest things that happened to me on Twitter. So,
What?
Yeah.
I just got to throw that out
Dude,
there. That's my.
You were
announcement.
not friends with the Buscus. I'm just gonna say
No,
that
he doesn't
now.
follow me, but I'm getting him there. I'm working on him.
You're working on it. You're trying to.
I'm getting
Dude,
you, Tobuscus.
honestly, that would be cool as shit if you were friends with the Buscus.
If I get verified, I think I'd be able to DM him and he actually would notice.
What would
me,
you think that would be the next cool thing to happen? Like where does this go? Like where, you know,
the future?
yeah. Like what do we?
Are you talking the podcast or the world? Okay, the podcast.
Well-
eventually the goal is to go live.
Yes.
Oh God.
Eventually, we're working up to that now.
Yeah. Oh man.
And then I won't be able to do the edits with live, but I could always re-edit them.
Man, that's scary. I don't know about
Right?
that.
Yeah.
Well, if the goal is to eventually turn this from a hobby to like an actual source of income, then that would be live streaming with super chats would be the way to go. And then also that's an interactive medium versus a telephone game of we put something up and then someone comments and then we talk about it in the next one.
I know. Yeah, it's like
The audience can participate if it's live.
Yeah, that's the difference
is-
between movies and shows because movies
But
you have to wait 2 years. Shows
The
are
other
immediate.
thing is starting from scratch the way we are. Live streaming might not be the way to go because we'd be live streaming to about maybe 1 or 2 people, maybe 5. On a
Yeah,
good
we
day.
should wait.
Yeah,
on
on a
that. Yeah.
good
So we got
day.
to probably build up an audience before we move over to live streaming, along with all the other hardware issues we run into if we started live streaming right now.
Yeah.
I think this is. I think this. Who knows where this could go? Yeah.
I like where it's going. It's got me editing again, so I love it.
Yeah. It's got me doing more homework now.
I love it because I get to just sit somewhere else for a while. So
I get to sit in another room and smoke for a little bit.
I get to smoke inside. I'm happy. It should be
I'm
garage,
happy
in my
too.
opinion, but
Yeah, I'm happy, man. I'm fucking happy.
this is good. Yeah.
All right.
Happy belated New
This
Year's.
is a thing. This is a thing. It's
Is
been
it-
our thing.
it's been our
gonna
thing,
be
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh,
Oh. Ah,
Lisa
okay.
Nakagi!